Hmm. All right, looks like we are live now. So, yeah. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to episode 115. Let's chat live now. Today is going to be a very special stream, guys, because we have a very special guest on, and this is a stream that's been long in the making, guys. And yeah, and thank you all for your patience, because it's definitely paid off. Because when I go into a voice chat, we have a special guest, of course. And okay, I'm going to join the voice chat now.
Very grateful
Right.
that you have joined after all, and I'm very looking forward to asking you potentially a few questions and so on.
Awesome. Gosh, I'm happy to be here, and
Okay.
glad we can work it out. I'm completely honored.
Okay, so we're live right now, and okay, so I would like to introduce all of you watching to the one and only Fred Tatasciore. So yeah, welcome, Fred.
Hi,
And of course, guys, I think it's probably when we start the stream, of course, with me saying probably your most iconic catchphrase, Fred, of course, which is Hulk smash.
Yes. Hulk smash.
Yeah.
I'm going to preface this, guys, with the fact that I'd already told you, but for the audience, I'm actually at a farm. I put with my family to bring my kids to some animals, and chickens, and like that. And so I'm sitting on a bench, and I'm feeding chickens, and there are kids around, so it'll be really funny for me doing voices.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. So yeah.
Very silly.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming, Fred. It's an absolute honor to have you here, and so
honor to be here.
Yeah. You're one of my favorite voice actors of all time ever, and I've heard your voice in nearly everything video games I've played and like shows I've watched and like animated. And it's just amazing to hear you, and like to have you here talking to me now is just an absolute honor.
Thank you. Well, the honor to be here, and thank you for your kind words. I appreciate, as an actor, you're just happy to be able to be, asked to do anything. You know what I mean? And, I've been really lucky to be playing these iconic characters.
Yes.
I didn't even realize some of them. I didn't even realize how much effect they were going to have when I recorded. Originally.
And
this is a neat job, and I didn't know that people would.
Yes.
And get into it,
And we got lots of guests here as well, Fred, and we've all got loads of questions to ask you, of course. So yeah, hope that's okay with you, Fred.
Of course it is. I'll do the best I hope I can answer well.
Yes. So
I'm sure you will, sir. I have no doubt about it.
Yes.
And I've literally just written down a little list of different questions.
Wow, you came prepared. Brilliant. Yeah. So
I make things up on the spot.
Yeah, so I'll start with one question for you, Fred. This is a question I've been meaning to ask you ever since, like I heard you do this voice. Now, as a matter of fact, Fred, the first voice you did, which I first heard your name of course, when I heard Fred Tatasciore, was, of course, Megatron in Transformers.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been meaning to ask you, Fred, when you were first brought on to do a voice of the Megatron in Transformers War for Cybertron, were you told to do like an impression of like another voice actor, or were you told to do like your own take on Megatron?
No, they wanted clearly they wanted my own take.
Oh, you've still got it. You've still got it.
People are looking at me. I will do this Megatron voice, and some dad looked over at me like, "Who are you?" Yes. So no, it's a very interesting story actually, and I hope I'm not speaking out of school about it. I've always loved Frank Welker. As not only an artist, but as a voice actor. And the great thing about Frank Welker is he's Megatron to Curious George. Like, this man has the biggest range and the biggest
he does.
He's
undeniably.
He's truly brilliant. And you know what's great about him is he's as good now, if not better, than he's ever been. That's one of the great things about this job.
He's a legend.
And he's still great. Like, he's still killing it.
He's still going strong. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, stronger than ever.
So absolutely.
On this one, the very specific project, and I think they wanted to emphasize the more gladiatorial aspect of Megatron, the theatrical kind of thing. And I think they wanted. I don't really know what their thinking was, but here's the story, and this will show you how cool Frank Welker is. I said. They said, okay, Peter Cullen's doing this, and you're on board. You want to audition for Megatron, and I said, I think Frank Welker does it. And I wanted to let them know, sometimes people assume people don't work anymore. I said, he's still here to do it, you know. And
yeah,
I
he is.
My agent, I talked to my agent, who was his agent and friend too at one point, and I said, Kathy, I don't know. I think I want to. I don't think I should do this. We should ask Frank to at least send in an audition and get his. And literally, she wrote me back and said, Frank said you would do this. and
wow.
You have his blessing. Isn't that funny?
Well, yeah, that's wonderful.
I
Yeah.
would be like, and he said, no, Frank knew you would do this, and he wants you to know you have his blessing. And
that's
I was like,
wonderful.
wow. And he went back to doing it, again, and it's like he never left. The one thing you learn about these kind of characters is, I play Hulk. There are many Hulks before me, and there'll be many during and after me. You know what I mean? And it's like James Bond. There's like 8 James Bonds or whatever. You just kind of run with a role for a while, and you try to see what you can bring to it. Like, look at all the dimensions of Joker, right? Like how everybody who's played Joker brought something to it, and I feel Megatron was like that for me, and so I just enjoyed this guy. He just feels like he should have what he, it's his rights. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's so hard to get good help when you're him. Don't you notice that?
Yeah.
Everybody's turning against me or failing.
I love that voice, yeah. And also, yeah, and Fred, thanks as well for watching my video that I made for you as Megatron last year.
You did such a great job. That is one. It brought back memories.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah. Oh, you go ahead, Blaze.
Luke also has voiced Megatron in some of our redubs.
Yeah, Fred, I sent you a video last night. I don't know if you saw it or not because you were busy, but yeah, I voiced your Megatron in that video.
Oh, okay. I will check it out. Sorry.
I
got the audio.
Yeah,
that was so good.
Soundwave. I was voicing Soundwave in the
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. That's great.
Yeah.
I'll look at it today.
Yeah, I made sure I was prepared for it because I rewatched the cutscene and I made sure to copy your voice and mannerisms as best I could.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and
I'm very excited. I will get back to you. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, and also, one of our guests here called Alexander's got a question for you as well, Fred. You would like to? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Hello again. Thank you, Luke. Because once again, as I said, I don't have much time today because I actually have a flight tomorrow very early in the morning because I'm going to another country. So that was a little inconvenient, but I'll try to get in as much as I can.
Yeah, go for it, Alexander. Go for it.
First of all, my name is Alexander Malinin, but my YouTube name, just because it's one of my favorite characters, is Oppo Rancisis. And Oppo Rancisis is this Jedi Master from the Star Wars prequels who has like this long tail and this beard. And you actually voiced him in the 2003 Clone Wars series, which was the Genndy Tartakovsky one. And you're actually the only voice for him to this day because he only spoke in that show. So while obviously in terms of like, I really like Jerome Blake, who played him, who wore the makeup in the prequels. I also really appreciate the fact that you did the voice for him in that show. I think that's pretty funny and pretty ironic. That,
it is very cool. It's a small world. That is cool. I know, and it's. I remember doing it. Yeah, I changed my face a little bit to try to make the sound.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the most unique voices I've heard from you, Fred. And also, speaking of that same show, by the way, spot on impression of Liam Neeson, by the way, spot on as Qui-Gon, spot on impression.
You just made my day, man. First of all, I thank you very much. I thank you for that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm actually.
I really do.
Yeah, I'm actually.
I'm a Qui-Gon. Here's the thing. I love that actor. Liam Neeson is just,
he's a legend.
Amazing.
A legend.
Every level. Comedy, serious, anything. He can do it all.
Yeah, he's a legend. Yeah.
I would have studied under Qui-Gon. I love Qui-Gon Jinn. I just one of my favorite Jedis. I mean, I have a lot of favorite Jedis, but it was such an honor to play him and then do him for the audiobook.
Oh, audiobook! Wow.
Yeah.
Audiobook.
Yeah, we have some. There's some books coming out that are tales from the Sith and the Jedi and Sith. And what I love about it is it's things about like, and you see this in the TV shows now. where sometimes they just go on regular missions. Sometimes there's just stuff that Qui-Gon saw that you never heard about. You know what I mean? Like there's just like things that he did, and the more you get into that character, the more you find out about him. It's the coolest thing, because he had such an arc of not only his betrayal of his own teacher, right, which is so depressing, and he came from nothing too. Like he really came from not. A lot of these guys come from different backgrounds, and Qui-Gon came from nothing. And what I love especially about him was that he was the one who really learned how to talk to the dead. Like he's the one who can cross the spiritual planes. And even Yoda was like, "Oh, this guy, he can do it. He can." He was the one. And I know my third grade Yoda.
Yeah,
but
and and I gotta say, Fred, that I'm very surprised that you've not voiced Qui-Gon, in like anything official since that show, as far as I know, really.
Yeah, for me, I would have really loved. I loved Tom Kane's version as well, but in Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, since you already did Vader in that, I also think you could have done Qui-Gon. Should they have chosen you? I think that's also another.
I would have jumped at the chance anytime they want me to do something. I would love to do it, but it's really hard. Some people, you'll get on somebody's radar. This is just like anything. And some people don't realize they forget. They don't know that you do this. Like they forget, like, oh, he does a great Liam Neeson. Oh, we don't want Liam Neeson for this. Oh, okay. Or they, there's a lot of things. And, my opinion of Tom Kane is he can do anything. God bless him.
Yeah, I hope Tom's doing well. Yeah, I hope Tom's doing well after what happened. Yeah.
I'm hoping to see him. Yeah. Big shout out to that guy.
Yeah.
He is gonna. I am feeling very emotional. Like I feel very positive that he is going to. I'm hoping he makes a full recovery. I really do. Yeah. Because that guy, again, we were talking before the podcast about people we love, know and love. Voice acting, one of those guys that is, again, not only the voice of the Academy Awards, but he's Yoda and C-3PO. And,
yes, he is. Yeah.
He just does every
lots of roles. Yeah.
Also, he's because he's a fabulous actor.
He is.
And,
yes.
He's got this big part. He was always trying to get my Vader impression to Skywalker sound. He was always one of my big supporters, and I just love him so much. And we had the Call of Duty together, so it's like,
of course.
Hopefully, we're gonna work something out where we can get him on a big Call of Duty thing. I hope that we can all get together.
Fred, it was
Nikolai Belinsky.
Nikolai, yes, of course,
Yeah, that's the name that rings a bell. Yeah.
There is not one bit of vodka at this farm, by the way.
Oh yeah. I heard that's like a very popular line you say. Yeah. Now, Alexander, I know you've not got much time, so were you going to ask Fred about Darth Vader by any chance?
Well, I maybe eventually, but that was not on my first list of questions.
Okay, yeah.
I was going to ask. Well, first of all, apologies for the sound in the background. There's some paper being printed.
Oh, it's fine.
Something.
Oh, it's fine.
But my personal favorite role.
I have a train. Yeah.
My favorite role of yours, Fred, is actually my all-time favorite. I don't know, maybe this will surprise you, maybe not. I mean, it's Rhino from the PS4 Spider-Man game. I really, really enjoyed that voice of yours, where you voiced Rhino.
Now I appreciate this. Yes.
Yeah. You were brilliant as Rhino, Fred. Brilliant.
And I was going to ask Fred, my main question is, how did you what did you do to kind of study the accent and try to make it maybe more authentic or more comedic, or basically what were your approach to that, and especially to Rhino's accent, given the character is of Russian heritage in that game? And also one more thing, this is just on a side note, because this will probably surprise you, because I do speak very fluent English, but I actually am from Russia myself. Which is
okay. So then I have to ask you: was I okay?
You were okay. You were better than okay. You see, the thing is that I think with many, like for instance, obviously you didn't actually have to speak the Russian language, but in terms of the accent itself, it's very accurate. I think it's tougher when you actually have to, but you didn't. But I mean, when actors have to speak the words, I think it's tougher for them because there you have to be more authentic. But in terms of the accent, I think you did a great job, and I'm interested in how you kind of approached that.
Oh, well, first of all, thank you for saying that, because one of the things I'm always terrified of, and this is JB and I go through this all the time, JB Blanc, I mean, is that, we want to get the dialect, you got to get the dialects right. You got to get the dialects right. And I went to school, for theater, and we had to study dialects. We had in Russian, of course, which is one of them. And, you try to study as much. I love dialects. I study them as much. I've also been very blessed that I have a lot of friends of different nationalities. And I have a lot of Russian friends. And so I will confer. I always call them and ask, like, what would this guy do? Because, it's not just one accent, as you know. There's
of course,
different types of dialects. And you want to be true to the character of Rhino, like who he would be as a person. Who was he? And he has a very tragic life, too. He's one of those guys that maybe should have been a good guy, but he, so what I do is I go over it, I record it, I hear it, check it out with friends, I say, am I in the right direction on this? I mean, I've had all sorts of dialect help from different people, that are dialecticians. It is hard sometimes. And Nikolai, for example, he does have to speak Russian occasionally, and that's you got to make sure you have somebody. I mean, that's true for anything, though. You want to make sure you don't want anyone to be taken out. And I'm always terrified, especially for the Russian things. I don't want someone that is from Russia feeling like, this isn't real. This is a stereotype, or this is, whatever. And so it's an ongoing process. That's what I'm trying to say. It's an ongoing thing, and I try to get it right. It's very important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I did.
Yeah.
I run it up and I look up. I do as much research as I can, for real. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, thank you for answering. That's very interesting.
Is there anything else you want to ask him, Alexander?
I really appreciate you saying that, by the way, especially coming from where you're coming from,
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, I've got a question for Fred.
Yeah, Blaze, go ahead.
Yes.
So on my channel, I played Dead Space, and I was actually really shocked to see that you and Steve Bloom voiced the Necromorphs in the game.
Good voice. What?
The Necromorphs, yeah. Apparently they're like monsters in Dead Space,
Yes. Well, Steve Bloom and I work together a ton. And we have and it's so funny because I always joke about Steve Bloom as like the nicest dude with the scariest voice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you like a fish. I'm gonna get you like a fish. Yeah, the kids and I are going to yoga camp. He's like really sweet.
Wow,
and,
that's actually a good impression of Steve. That's a good impression of Steve, Brad. Very good impression of him.
Hey, man. Hey, pal. Thanks. No, but I have so many times we have a tally of who's killed who. Usually I'm a creature, and he's the knight, or he's the creature and I'm the warrior. We have like a running gag of like who's had to devour or kill who over the years. It goes on and on. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, that was fun to do.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun to do.
Yeah. Alexander, have you got another question for Fred? Because I know you don't have much time, have you?
Yes, I don't have much time. I was going to ask, so I don't know if you remember this character. Maybe not, because it was like one smaller part, but probably you do. But I was interested in how did you kind of prepare for the voice of, you did one Gungan in the Clone Wars called Captain Tartals with like the whiskers, right? Yeah. And obviously in The Phantom Menace, he was voiced by Steve Spears, the actor. And did you kind of listen to that original voice, or what was kind of your preparation for that role? What did you follow the
I would say I did take my cue from the movie, and also I wanted to make sure we had the right Gungan speech. You know what I mean? Because we always hear Jar Jar, and he's a very specific character, but a lot of them speak it's a certain thing. I had to do it for also for Star Wars, the ride at Disneyland. I'm a couple of Gungans too.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
You saw in big trouble, and you also want to make sure you keep him real. Like I wanted to, I really focused more on the character. You know what I mean? Like just like, okay, who is this? Who is this guy? This very seasoned warrior. You know, he's really warrior class kind of guy. Yeah, I have to be honest though. I did take my cue from the movies. I did. You know, and then you just go off and then you try to make it your own, because my guy was a little different than the movie, just because it was in a different scene and he's in a different time in life. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he was. Yeah. So it was. I sort of softened him up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And unfortunately, he does die in that episode, though.
He's an incredibly honorable man. You know what I mean? And so I decided to make him I wanted to go in that direction with him. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing, leading up from that kind of, is how did you react? Because in the Clone Wars, you had one role with Tarpals. Then in Rebels, you had just Boss Yushin in that one episode, and a Rodian as well.
Yeah.
So very few compared to how some of the others.
I always died. I know. It was a hard nut to crack. I didn't get on that show very often. I tried like hell, but I couldn't figure it out. I was like, man, I'm such a Star Wars fan, and I know all this stuff. I couldn't understand how am I not breaking in? And you just got to get on people's radar. But it was great. I played that dude who dies terribly.
But the thing is, afterwards, in Star Wars Resistance, you had quite a few roles. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And how did you react then? Because in Star Wars Resistance, you was the purple guy, right? You was the other guy, and I'm interested. Were you a little surprised? Because before you, D. Bradley Baker, Corey Burton had all of these roles you just guest starred with, but then later on in Resistance, they got you for quite a few parts by that point.
Again, it's people who start to know you. They're like, oh yeah, he does this. And then D. Baker and I always play creatures together. You know what I mean? So it's you never really, so we're all pals. So it's I think what happened was it's just, and for all I know, D. Bradley Baker's the kind of guy who would say, why don't you get Fred in on this? You know, we all do that for each other. And I think what happened on that show is I think now people started to know me. You know, it's really what it is. Yeah. As an actor, one of the things in voice acting it's great and it's bad at the same time is your anonymity. You know, what's wonderful is you can walk through anywhere and not be bothered. And, people who are fans are really genuine fans. And it's never you're not swamped you can, but then your anonymity works against you too, because nobody knows who you are. And so producers and directors are like, who's this guy? Oh, why do I hire him? Why can't I hire a famous person? Or, it's sort of, that's not true in Japan. Japan, it's different. They're respected as celebrities, but here it's a great job, but you have to be on people's radar to get on a show, Yeah.
So were you fairly surprised?
Very. I was happy though. Happily surprised. Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very thrilled to be working at
Oh,
all.
okay, goodness, there's loads of questions in the comments here on the stream. Fred, there's a question from someone here called Ben 10 Theorist who's asking you about your role in Ben 10,000, is it? He's asking, what was it like working on that role for you? Ben 10,000, is it?
Oh man, it was huge because to be. Oh, I was there from the beginning of the Ben 10. I played a couple of the creatures,
Yeah.
And I got a chicken coming here. Hold on.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's so funny. I'm feeding chickens as we speak. I was really into it because I played these creatures. I've been back on a few of the different Ben 10s, but then I got to play adult Ben, and that was great because I felt like I had followed him, and just to see what this guy would have been like in the future was such an honor. So this is great. That one I really was surprised they asked me to do. I really was, and I realized it was the voice was right, and kind of like his age was right, and it was nice though, because I had known so much about him from working on the show for so long. So it was kind of neat to have to jump into that role twice. You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's another question, even someone here called Black Eagleman 30 asking, when you worked on the Batman Arkham games, Fred, what was it like working with Kevin Conroy?
Well, okay, we were talking about this guy.
Yeah, I think you were talking about before I came on. Yeah,
I cannot say enough good things about him. We lost him too soon.
Yeah, we did. It's very unfortunate.
I must say, I'm like deeply saddened by this. Like, it's just like he was such a great guy.
Yes, he was.
A real consummate actor and a gentleman, and he brought everything to that role, and it was great. I didn't get a chance to often work with him on the actual game. I just knew him, you know, through all different projects. And I'll explain how we record in the games differently. But you know, he brought so much to that role, and even like Love, Death, and Robots, he was motion captured. I mean, he was video captured on something, and he was so happy to do it and be on camera. And he looked at the results and he goes, "Oh my God, the general looks just like me." I said, "Yeah, they captured you and animated your face." You know? And
wow.
they did I couldn't go, but they had a wonderful memorial for him, and he's just a real special, wonderful actor that we just, again,
absolute legend.
What a career though. I must say, like
30 years of Batman. Yeah.
Early.
Years thing.
Yeah. So I just I was honored. I have to say, if you ever met him, you're just honored to know him.
Yeah,
he's a really good guy. Really good guy.
Yeah, I really miss Kevin Conroy, Fred, and like I made a video for you, Fred, where you voiced Megatron, and I made a video for Kevin as Batman, and it was dedicated to his memory.
That's great.
Yeah. And right. And right now, Fred, on the stream here, I'm showing a figure of Grundy, who you voiced, of course, on the stream, Sloman Grundy. I'm showing my figure of him because I collect figures in my spare time.
In which game? Which one?
It's from Arkham City, this figure of Grundy.
Yeah, so Grundy. So you heard the song, right?
Yeah.
When we did the whole, that turned into Tom Waits.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely do nail Grundy really well, Fred.
I really appreciate that. He's Cyrus Gold, man.
Cyrus Gold, yeah.
Very complex character.
Indeed, yes.
I'm always curious. I really wish they would make a little backstory film about him, about what happened.
That'd be a good idea, yeah.
Yeah, because I always want to. It's so funny. I always want to give him slightly an accent.
Yeah.
You know, he fell into some bad stuff. Not a great guy, but fell into some bad company, and then all of a sudden it just got worse.
Yeah.
Him, and now he's the wonderful Frankenstein. You know.
Yes. We mentioned Steve Blum earlier, Fred, but there's a comment from someone in the chat called Dark Prime asking, "What did you think of working with Steve when he voiced Wolverine in several Marvel projects?"
See, now that I can talk about a lot because we did work together, and with Tom Kane on these things. Yeah. We were. I was Beast to his, and I was also his Hulk too. Hulk and Beast. I'm Hulk, Beast, and Fang. You know, on these shows a lot, and his Wolverine is just unsurpassed. It's so incredible, and I always loved our energy. Tom Kane said you got to have a drinking game every time Beast is interrupted by Wolverine. You know, like, well, I think the sensible thing would be to make sure the mitochondria. No, we're going to do it this way. You know, he was always like, oh, maybe we don't have to fight. Maybe we can go. No, I know what we need to do. You know, it was always like. He'd always just like go to action, you know. And again, I can't say enough great stuff about Steve. He's my dear best friend, and we met. I was playing actually Hulk. We started our first thing was when we did Hulk versus, and we did Hulk versus, and Wolverine was getting clobbered by Hulk, you know, and to the point where Hulk was so out of control that they used him as a weapon. So Wolverine had this brilliant. Steve played it so brilliantly, which is like, that's right, buddy, come and get me, you know. And a wrecking ball, you know, this Hulk would come and Steve would get out of the way, and I would destroy the Citadel or whatever. You know? So it was a really great thing. Yeah, Steve really brings it, and we had too much fun on Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah,
And
I can imagine.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it was just too good. Yeah, I love playing Beast off of him. You know what I mean? It was really great.
I can imagine.
When we
Yeah,
actually re-recorded together, you know. So,
yeah, because I watched Earth's Mightiest Heroes when I was a kid, and it is in my opinion the best animated Marvel show I've ever seen. I love Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
It is a great show.
Yeah,
it's a popular one. I would say that's a big fan favorite. It really is.
Yes.
I love the Avengers. I love what we did, but I got to tell you, that one, you know, when the fans come up, like you guys are talking about it, that's what happens. Yeah.
Yes, and I also believe, Fred, that in that show, of course, the Falcon appeared, and he was voiced in a guest role by Lance Reddick. And did you by any chance meet Lance Reddick in your career, Fred?
Just then.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
you met him. That's cool.
But no, I didn't. Yeah, but not ongoing. You know, like yeah. Bumper is usually Falcon. You know, it's like he's usually what I've known. Yeah, Bumper Robinson, but yeah, but and brilliantly played. Yeah. No, I didn't get this back then. A lot of times we record by ourselves too. Like I was mentioning about Arkham. You know, a lot of that stuff. You know, I might be playing off of Steve, but I don't get to work with him, which is sad.
We heard that the recordings of Earth's Mightiest Heroes we usually done separate because our first guest on the streams was actually one of your co-stars, Peter Jessup.
He's actually in the server as well.
Yeah, Peter Jessup came on to one of our streams, Fred, and we interviewed him, and then we interviewed JB. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
JB is amazing. He's another guy I work with dialects all the time. I'll have to ask him things.
Yeah.
He's a real dialectician. He's terrific. And he's one of my favorite buds.
Yeah, and hasn't he also directed you in loads of projects too, Fred, as a director?
Yeah, he's a great director.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
He's an actor. He's an actor. A lot of times acting and directing can go together. Not always.
Yes, of course.
But a lot of great directors were great actors. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have another question.
Go ahead, Alexander. Go for it.
So Fred, you do a lot of these very, obviously, you're known to do a lot of these very gruff, rough, tough voices, obviously, and Bane, Hulk, who else? Rhino, and so on. And is there any kind of probably not, I guess, because it's different projects. But do you? Is there any kind of technique you try to do to try and separate them so that they kind of try not to fuse into each other so much, or is it more of something unconscious in that regard? To kind of
well, to answer your question, first of all, I'd love to do a role with this at my real voice.
No, you're absolutely right. I do. I put. This is going to sound very technical, and forgive me if this is boring, but this is kind of what I have like a singer. You have where it sits in your throat, okay? So like when I do Hulk, I know where his tempo. What you have in acting and in voice acting is pitch, tempo, rhythm. You know, like what are his highs and lows? How does he articulate? Right. So when I do Hulk, I know where he is in the throat. The hardest one for me is when I have to differentiate Solomon Grundy and Hulk. I'll tell you why. Because a lot of people, even though they're in different universes, I don't want them to be the same. And for a lot of reasons. And a lot of people want me to do the Hulk voice for Grundy, you know what I mean? Because it works. But it can't be, you know, like, and so I trash it up. When I do Solomon, I know that I might be able to put an accent on it. Depending.
Yep.
He is just like a zombie who's been trashed. He's just an amalgamation of a bunch of crap. You know what I mean? And so I tried to place him in a different place, but he might have that same role that the Hulk has, but not speaking like the Hulk, you know. And then other characters, they sit in a different place. So I do practice and I do record myself a lot, and I try to hear. It's like an instrument. I try to be like, I call it tuning up. Like if what happens is I say before a project, can I hear the references? You want me to do that? Okay. So I tune my voice to the character. I go, okay, all right, I'm going to be doing this guy today. hey, it's going to be a little bit different, or and you start to fine tune where it sits in your throat, and the roughness and all that stuff. Yeah, I know. Again, you bring up the roughness. I love doing all that, but I try to do other stuff. You know what I mean? Because in this business, it's great. You're happy to get typecasted, but also it's really tough when you get typecasted, because then that's you're just the guy that does the animals, or you're the guy.
Well, Well, I'm not saying that you're only good for this. Well, I'm just saying that as an observation, you do a lot of those.
No, I'm not. I was saying, but I'm saying it's a great thing, and you're right. Because I have that one bass. There's a bass tone that I work with, right? I have to try to make them as different as possible. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. There's also
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Patrick. This is Patrick, by the way, Fred, another one of your big fans, actually. Patrick.
Hey, Patrick.
Good evening. So I have a bit of a question here. So you and JB Blunk are pretty good friends, right?
Probably the best of friends, yes. Yeah.
Is it then just purely coincidence that you guys voiced Vander and Benzo in Arcane, who also happen to be really good old friends?
No, it was absolute pure luck. Pure luck. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like, we just didn't know how we were shocked. We were like, oh my God, this is great. It was really, really wonderful. And that we did get to play up.
I especially love how they just start off their conversation by just straight up mocking each other, and then just having a laugh about it.
Right, what you're doing in this place here? You're coming in here. Well, don't like you. Yeah, making it really clear.
That's a very good accent, Fred. Really good.
Oh, I appreciate that.
And how does what is that's right, like an English accent, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I was trying to do kind of a Lower East. I was trying to do a kind of. I mean, obviously we're in a different place altogether. So it's not really specific. They don't want you to be too specific. But it was not. Yeah, somebody you see in a Guy Ritchie movie. Somebody like real tough.
Yeah.
Guy Ritchie movie meets a Charles Dickens movie.
I gotta say, Fred, as an Englishman myself, that was definitely a brilliant British accent you just did then. That was brilliant.
Yeah. Oh man, that means everything to me, guys.
And
means everything to me.
Yeah, and speaking of Arcane, Fred, I binge watched that show on Netflix when I did, and it was definitely one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life on Netflix. It was amazing, and I can't wait for more to come of it.
Yes, I know. Me too. I was sort of blown away. You got to understand, when we recorded this, we did a table read 1,000 years ago.
Wow.
Like, and then we did it like 2 years, and then we recorded scenes. We did them together, and we kind of didn't know where it was going to land. We knew it was good because we read the script. We loved the script. Didn't quite get it. And then we realized that they had been working crazily on this. French animators were trying to get our expressions and captured video, and they worked so hard on this thing. This group was insane, and they made this incredible animation. That's what happened. That's where it's been. They've been working on this thing, and I'll tell you why I love the animation so much in this particular show.
Oh, it's beautiful animation. Beautiful.
It's so psychedelic and it's different and fun. But what they have, which not a lot of cartoons or animation does, is the cutaway. In other words, while someone is talking to me, they'll cut to my face, but you're seeing my expression. In other words, there's not speaking. It's just they're looking at his eyes or his face for emotion, and it's just like it reads. One of the things that's great about on-camera acting, other than animation, is if I look at Anthony Hopkins and he's not speaking, I should know what he's thinking or at least feeling, right?
Yeah,
that's
of course.
One of the things that's a really great thing about on-camera acting. Well, this thing broke the mold and said, I'm going to cut away to an animated character that's not speaking, and he's just reacting to something. And it's so real. And it's like, I can see what these characters are going through just by their face.
Yes.
And that's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Really
yes.
is.
So yeah, that show
I've got another question.
Yeah, go ahead, Patrick.
This one actually also has to do with JB Bunk.
Yes.
So basically, during our interview, like this one with JB Blanc, I brought up this time that Steve Blum was at, I think it was like a Comic-Con or something, and he was there along with a Canadian voice actor named Scott McNeil. And the two guys were answering questions, and they then got asked by someone asking, which one of you is the better Wolverine? And so they would just calmly look at each other and then proceed to point at one another. Yes, the question.
Yeah.
And then I asked JB Blanc if it ever happened with you and him at a convention and someone asked you to, which one of you is the better Bane, whether or not you do the same. But JB Blanc just jokingly answered with, no, I'd point at myself.
Absolutely. No, because we give each other, because JB and I are such best friends, we give each other shit like nobody's business. It's like, he's like, he'll be directing me, and I'll be like horrible, like I just am blowing the takes at the beginning, and he'll just be like, "You're off to a great start, Fred. Really good." It's just like
that accent's so good.
Oh, he's so funny.
Yeah, JB was amazing on the interview. Yeah.
JB was a legend.
Oh, he is, but we joke around so much to the point where people just can't stand it. Like we are constantly. And did he ever tell you the time where I had to play a troll and that we were motion capture?
Oh yeah.
And he told you that story? Oh God.
I think maybe yeah.
Oh yeah, and I'm blind as a bat without my glasses, and I didn't think to wear contacts, So I'm in the mocap suit, and I'm supposed to come in on these guys, and I'm like, "Who has come here to, who's bothering me today, or something?" And he's like, "We're over here, Fred." And I realized I'm not really close to where I was.
Yeah.
56
Yeah.
You're doing great, Fred. You're doing,
really good.
And it's like,
yeah.
Yeah, he's so yeah. We would point at each other. I'd probably point at him.
Yeah.
Say anyway.
There was a question earlier, Fred, actually talking about your voices. Would you say that Hulk is probably your most challenging voice at times because of all the yelling you've got to do?
No, I would say yeah. Okay, it's a two-parter. Yes, depending on what you have Hulk do. Both JB and I voiced Hulk and Abomination in movies. In a movie where we both passed out.
Yeah,
it was,
I think JB told about this. Yeah.
And it's mine was they had me to yell this incredible, but they didn't realize when I do it full voice, I passed out on my feet. I went, whoa, and I could hear. Everything sounded like those anti-drug movies of the 70s. They're like, ding, 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 like I was like, oh, and I couldn't get my feet. And I said, please play it back. And so you hear, whoa, right?
Yeah.
And I said, please use it in the movie. And if you watch the Ed Norton movie, there's a part where he hits his head on the cave and goes, whoa. It's like, I think I was so happy they used it. No, I would say Hulk used to be one of the most challenging because they had him yell all the time. He's become less challenging because he doesn't yell as much.
Yeah.
And he speaks more, and he's more fused with Banner. But I would say he was definitely up on the top end of things that are hard. You'd be surprised what's really hard is just the yelling man. Like, medic, da-da-da. Like any soldier, that is actually harder to do than creatures sometimes. Because
it's
just constant.
Soldiers.
You know what I mean? Like, oh yes.
Yeah, and actually, for the reason why I'm also asking is because I'm like a big fan of you. I've actually watched your interviews on YouTube, and I think you mentioned at one point that you've got to hydrate a lot when you're doing all the yelling and stuff like that.
Yes, most definitely. You have to hydrate like crazy. And, take breaks. Breathe,
of course,
use supported breath. It's really like being a singer that does weird sounds. You have to be able to know how to support yourself in it and know when you're pushing it. Like even some characters, like I play Yosemite Sam. Well, I have to make sure I'm careful because it's a vocal fry. You know what I mean? It's a very like you have to make sure you're treating yourself well.
Yes,
Get
and
lots
I've
of
got
rest.
a good question for Fred.
yeah, go ahead, Blaze.
Did you mocap Soldier 76 in Overwatch?
No, that was animated. Can you believe that?
Really?
I
Wow.
know.
It was motion captured.
Well, I'm sure parts of it may have been motion captured. Maybe. I would happily do it, but I just trying to think. I wish I could sprint like him. That's what I need to do. I need to sprint. I'm jealous of that. No, I did not. Are you talking about now in the game per se, or the actual films that they did?
Oh, the animations, yeah.
Yeah, the animations. Yeah, those animations are standout. Like that Bastion one should be like a standalone movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I really do.
Also the one with Kristen Freeland's character as well.
Yes, that's one of my favorite characters, though. And I always have soldiers say like, "Yeah, I like the monkey. He's all right." But yeah, a soldier near and dear to my heart, man. I love that guy. And I did not. Yeah. Well, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Speaking of Overwatch, and yeah, Soldier 76. Back when I played that game a lot, he was actually my main.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, I used to play him a lot when I used to play Overwatch when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good start. He's really the starter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
he's the primer to get you in to like all these other crazy style of playing. You know?
Yeah. So Ozzy, have you got a question for Fred by any chance?
I guess so. It's like, how did you get introduced to Hulk for the first time?
The first time, it's really weird. Of course, my whole story is I grew up loving this character. It was my character. He was one of my favorite superheroes. I had the comic books. I met Lou Ferrigno when I was 9.
Oh, wow.
It was just nuts. Yeah, I was nuts. All nuts. So now, but in terms of showbiz, I got into a game. Not a lot of people know this. On Vivendi. Vivendi had a game, and I played a Hulk for them. And then I was to audition, I believe, for Thor on, it was either for Hulk versus, they were kind of auditioning everybody for everything at one point. Like, there was a Hulk versus, plus there was the Earth's Mightiest Heroes, right? And X-Men, okay? So I know that they were planning on all this. And so I think I went in for Thor. And some guy they were there, and they said, "Hey, can Fred try?" They didn't know what they were doing with Hulk. And they said, "Well, why don't we have Fred just try this here?" And I just auditioned Hulk right there, then and there. Did not plan it, did not know. And they're like, "Great, we really love it." And then sure enough, they got back to me and they said, "You're Hulk." I was like, I can't believe this. And what I couldn't believe is that with a few exceptions, I got to stay the Hulk for like 20 years.
That's amazing.
I didn't know that it was going to be. Now, I'm not the only one. There's many, there's obviously. And the big payoff for me was many years later, I got to do a panel with Lou Ferrigno. And it was the best. And he couldn't be a nicer, more supportive dude.
Yeah, Lou Ferrigno's a legend.
I just love him. He's a friend. I love him. And he just said, he was great. He looked at me. He said, because I have terrible, I'm getting surgery on my knees and my hips, right? He looked at me limping around one time and he goes, "You got a problem with your knees?" Well, yeah. Best thing I did. I replaced my knees, my hips, everything. I went, "Why? Like, what happened to you? What did you do?" And he goes, "From too many years of doing this." And he posed like he was lifting a weight. "You can do it." It's
Yeah.
like, wow. Yeah. So, no, and it's so funny. I love doing the panel with him because they're asking us about Hulk questions. And I said, what? They asked me they asked us this, and he and I had the same answers, which was really crazy. Because they're like, "What about Hulk getting mad? Hulk getting mad?" And I said, "No, Hulk just wants to be left alone." People forget that. They just think he's hot-tempered. It's like, no, he really doesn't want to be bothered. And he's like, "That's right. People don't understand. Hulk is he's just Banner, who got into this situation." and he
Yes.
just wants to be left alone. I thought it was so interesting that we had the same kind of takes on him, you know.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and then we get to meet the different Hulks. Like I heard Okasan, the guy who does the Japanese version of Hulk, and he's awesome. And we had a correspondence because I heard him once, and I went, "Hey, he's really good. Like this guy's awesome. He's better than me." Like I wasn't kidding. I wasn't being funny. I was like this, and the director was like, "Oh, he's been listening to you." So we wrote to each other. Like my Hulk brother, you know, and it's an interesting community that it's gotten into.
Interesting, and you even voiced the Hulk in an anime before.
Oh yeah. We Hulk and who else? Beast. Beast was
That's
in
really
anime
cool.
too.
There was a question earlier, Fred, asking if you've of course voiced Doomsday from DC, and of course I've heard you voice Doomsday in the game called Lego DC Supervillains, and I've got to ask you, Fred, how did it feel having to voice lots of characters for that game?
It was really startling. I didn't expect it. I did not expect that at all. And it was a blast because it was like a primer on DC. You know what I mean? Like I had to really like learn. I mean, I knew a lot already because I'm a Marvel DC fan, but it was so interesting to have to go in and try to flush these characters out. And like you mentioned before about trying to change your voice.
Yeah, of
that
course.
was the biggest challenge.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
Because you really want to make it like different. I felt like more like a puppeteer in that game. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I was trying to wear a lot of hats, and I was trying to make it interesting and fun. You know what I mean? Like in its own way. It's a real different kind of game. You know?
Yeah, it's that's actually my favorite Lego video game of all time. Actually, that I've played, Fred, so far.
Yeah, it's just
I'm so glad. Yeah. Lego is fun though. Lego, they let you do because it's Lego. They get away with everything. Have you noticed that? Like you could be. Yeah. I mean, there's a little pushback sometimes with some of the Marvel might say no, can't do that, and it's like,
yeah, of course.
Really, we can do. I mean, the Darth Vaders, you can make fun of anything. You know what I mean? And it's hilarious with the Lego.
You have a favorite line for Darth Vader from that game that you find the funniest.
Yeah. I was one of the Vaders. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah. Speaking of Darth Vader, Fred, of course, you of course voiced him in Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga last year, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So I've been meaning to ask you, Fred, what was it like getting to voice Vader? You know, in that game.
I'll tell you what it was. It was a dream come true. I am a James Earl Jones fan.
Yeah, me too.
I love him in anything, you know. But he made that iconic. You got nothing. The only thing is David Prowse. Every time you do Vader voice, you have to do the David Prowse hand. I don't know why. I always have to physicalize him like David Prowse. But what was fun was I'd always been doing Vader impressions all my life, and I've always wanted to play that character. I've always understood it. I thought it was an interesting character. I love the style of the way he speaks, and it's so commanding and so cool. It's so satisfying to play. It's like playing music you like to play, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so all of a sudden someone's giving me this concerto. But then what I love about Lego was it was funny. So I had to do all the lines that match the movies, which was a great challenge. And working with Matt Wood is a pleasure.
Yeah.
But what was fun was doing the things. For me, the most pleasurable aspect of is when things don't work for Vader. Like, you know, just like, hold on. Why is this not working?
Yes, that was really funny in the game. Yeah, really funny.
Hold on, I didn't
I love this Vader.
Yeah, and
so to me, yeah.
When it comes to recording Vader, Fred, you know, when it comes to you recording Vader, did you do it remotely due to of course the recent pandemic, or did you record it in a studio?
That one I recorded in the studio.
Oh wow! I mean,
in the studio. When I did, let me think. When I did him for Disneyland, if you meet Darth Vader in Disneyland as in the suit, I'm him. That's my voice coming out of him.
That's cool.
And that I recorded in their studios. There were
Yeah, that's
some
really
Vader
cool.
lines later in the pandemic I had to do remotely. And it's a very interesting story about Vader, too, because when you do him for the parks, right? Like for the Disneyland parks, Disney World, whatever, they found two things we had to do. We had to record, we recorded thousands of lines. By the way, I'm really impressed with whoever wears that suit and has to trigger the responses. It's
Yeah, they
just
do a great job
astounding
doing
to
that
me.
part. Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. But we found that we had to change. We found he was too scary for little kids. Like for teenagers and adults, you would have like, I sense you're working for the rebel spy. You know, and he's sussing you out. And they realized that for kids, that was a little bit much. So we had to record a whole other pass of lines for kids who were like, the force is strong with you. When you complete your training, you will join me. You know, it was like a kinder, more gentler Vader. You know what I mean? Like that was
Yeah, of course.
more encouraging rather than I'm throwing you away into the dungeon. You know.
And another question for you, Fred, about James Earl Jones.
Yes.
I have another question for you.
Yes.
Because you obviously say you do a lot of these Vader. If you were ever invited, would you ever be up to the challenge of voicing like another James Earl Jones character, like Mufasa, for instance, or something along those lines?
Of course I would. I would be very, very up for that. Anything that they would want, as long as they asked him first, obviously, and also I know we have to be culturally sensitive these days too. Like I know that people are always worried about like, oh, if you're Caucasian, they don't like you doing African American voices. The only thing that's confusing is what's Mufasa and what's Darth Vader. You know what I mean? It's like so it doesn't really hold that, But no, of course, I would be honored, and I would look. I just want to do good work out there if I can. You know what I mean? And if that's in my range, I'm happy. I think James Earl Jones heard one of my Vader's ones, and he was actually cool about it. He was good.
Really? Wow.
Like, oh wow! And I was like, because he's a really super nice guy. Generally you do like scratch when you do stuff for like movies and video TV shows. Sometimes you're doing scratch work. So in the past, I've had to do scratch work for him on other projects that weren't Star Wars, and doing his voice. But he would never have his own voice replaced. Like he doesn't. I think he saw Vader as a character, so it's like that's okay. But like, if no one would ever go on as James Earl Jones, you know what I mean? Like that's where you draw the line, But he was very, 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 very sweet about it. And like he's like, "No, that's very good, thank you." I'm like, oh wow.
James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones is a legend. Yeah.
I can retire now.
I would love to get him on the call.
Obviously, they're always really big. Yeah, obviously, all guys. Yeah.
I think he would do it. I really do. I believe he's one of those guys that will talk to you.
Yeah, it will be an honor to talk. It will be an honor.
Oh, that would be amazing.
It will be an honor, yes. And
Fred, I just want to tell you something about James. He is my favorite voice actor of all time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of voice actors, Fred, my favorite of all time is Peter Cullen, and I've got to ask you, did you get a chance to work with Peter Cullen together when you voiced Megatron?
No, that was the biggest bummer of my life. I met him many times, and I've worked with him on other things. But no, I didn't. I really would have loved to have done that with him. But that guy is just, he's incredible. I mean, I could listen to him read a phone book.
Me too.
Like, Abernathy, Abramowitz. Literally just go down the line. No, he would be. He was really incredibly great. And and he and Frank did some panels together at Comic-Con. They never do Comic-Cons, and they finally were doing Comic-Cons together, which I think is really cool.
That was really cool, yes. There's a question for you here, Fred, from Libba Movie Live, asking you, is there a certain character who you wish to voice in the future?
Oh, gosh. I just want to keep working. I'll tell you what I'd like to do. I've always loved, the thing is it's covered. you know, like we talk about Darth Vader, we talk about, you know, Donald Duck, but they really are covered by, you know, people. Tony Anselmo, you know, they're all like well done. So my thing is, I want to just, I have a bunch of those. I'd love to try Joker, but that's another one. But it's like it's so covered. You know what I mean? It's done so brilliantly.
Yeah.
We were talking about Mark Hamill earlier. I was saying, you know, Mark's a good friend of mine. He's a guy who's a famous voice actor who happens to be Luke Skywalker. You know, I always said,
of course, yeah.
Even if he was, I told him, I said, even if you were never Luke Skywalker, you would be a big time voice guy. You know, like he's so good at everything. But yeah, I'd love to try Joker. I'd love to try. There's all sorts of characters I'd like to continue to try.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say one of the big dreams I have now is I would like to create some characters. You know, I'd like to create.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
I would like to create something new. You know, I would love to find a different voice I haven't found yet. Do you know what I mean? That's
yeah, of course.
Goal.
Yeah.
What type of voice exactly? Is there a particular voice that you might consider your most unique role? That's
unique, yeah.
Very separate from all the others. Like, is there one that you find very, very different from everything else you've done so far? Anything that?
Let's see. My immediate. Are we going? I'm sorry. I gotta walk and talk here. Hold on. You have some more? Okay, I'm gonna walk with my family here, but I'm talking to you. I'm gonna hit a low battery soon, so that's not good. But
oh dear,
that's all right. We will continue on. One of the things I'm working on is with a best friend of mine is some independent animation, and I play sort of this very sad talk, and it's a very different voice for me and a different type of character that I'm going to try to launch on the world. I would say it was different for me that people wouldn't know. Well, you know, I was weird. It's playing up, but it's interesting because it's career. You know what I mean? And that's been, but that's not something unusual for me. That is really. There's a couple of characters I can't talk about now that are going to come out next year.
Okay, there's some more weird audio frequency going on. Yeah.
There's some glitching issues.
Oh, you know what? We might be dying here, guys. Sorry, see what's happening.
You're back now, though, Fred. You're back now, though.
But before we, okay, yeah. So new characters. Yeah, you know, Max Modell. It's really funny. Was interesting playing. It was very different for me. A lot of the characters for Spider-Man. A lot of the characters I find lately. You go through different phases. You know, I was thinking about typecasting. Like I used to be the bad guy or the thug. Then you become, for a while, I was the bad guy that you think is the bad guy that's actually trying to help the kids. And now I'm just sort of like the nice king. like King Randor. Like people wouldn't know I was King Randor in Masters of the Universe, that kind of thing. You know, it's very unusual. I'm starting to play a lot more nicer people. You know? I don't know if that's becoming a dad. I don't know. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. There's so before we die out, because I don't want to end before my battery dies, but I gotta say this has been so great talking to you guys.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Fred. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. Yeah.
But amazing. Much amazing honor.
I know we only did an hour.
Yeah.
Let's continue. You know, if you want to do it again, we'll work it out. Okay.
Yeah, that'll be amazing, Fred. So yeah, because you're very welcome to come whenever you want to, Fred, for a chat. You're very welcome to.
You know, absolutely. I would. Yeah, you guys are awesome. And
just so you know, Fred, it's every Saturday at this same time. It's
every Saturday. Yes.
That's awesome. I will definitely join you again.
Yeah, it'll be a huge honor, Fred. Yeah.
Honor is mine. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, well, I better sign off for this. That's
All right, take care, Fred. Thanks for being here.
I'm having you.
Take care.
It's been an honor, Fred.
Thank you. Take care, buddy.
Take care, Fred.
Honor's mine. Thank you so much. Take care.
May the force be with you.
Too. Bye.
Take care, Fred.
Yes, I'm a four. I'm the force be with all of us. Take care.
Take care, Fred.
See you.
It's been an honor.
Yeah, and see Don. Too.
Yeah, Don DiCorleone, yeah. Yeah,
welcome.
welcome, Dom.
No, there it is.
Yeah, hope you're doing well, man.
Yeah.
That's great, yeah. Wait, did Fred leave us, guys?
I think he left us, but I think he's struggling to understand how to leave the call, maybe.
Fred, you press the red button to.
Just press the red button.
Oh, let's see here. Hold on here.
Yeah, if yeah,
There should be like a red button of that shows the phone there. That shows the phone. And that's how you do the call.
yeah, if you tap, are you using your phone, Fred, to talk to us?
Yeah.
Okay,
I am.
so if you tap your screen, Fred, there'll be like a red button which will come up, and then you can end the call. Yeah.
My screen.
Yeah. So
It says 14. Oh, there it is. Take care, guys.
take care, Fred. Take care, Fred. Ooh. Wow.
Man, that was absolutely brilliant right there. Like,
Yep.
holy
I think this might be my favorite stream so far, guys. Wow.
Wait, didn't Fred say that James Earl Jones is interested in joining us?
Well, he said he might be Blaze, yeah, but we got be patient though, because James Earl Jones is very busy, and of course he's also in his 90s too. So yeah, we got to give him time, haven't we?
Yeah.
Guys, an idea with of a voice actor or of an actor with both on these streams will be William Shatner.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Oh, yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I know we're going to invite the musician Nick Gordon onto the show.
Well, I don't know Mick Gordon that well, Blaze. I don't think anyone else here might do either. So yeah, and so yeah,
he's pretty popular. He's very popular for making the Doom soundtrack.
Yeah. So there is a chance, guys, that Fred might probably come back on a later stream. Who knows? It's entirely up to him, of course. Yeah, but wow, we just interviewed him for an hour. It was absolutely a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was barely here, but
Yeah, you got to talk to him about voice and hopeful looking nerd, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. And again, I actually was watching Fred in something before I joined. So
wow, what a coincidence! What a coincidence!
Coincidence? Yep. I think not.
Yep, I was going to mention that, but kind of too late.
But it was definitely a huge honor though to talk to Fred after I've heard him in lots of things, and I would have probably asked him lots more questions. I think we all would have done, of course, because Patrick and Alexander had questions written down, of course, didn't they? So yeah.
Yeah. I gotta go now because I'm kind of busy.
Well, Patrick, thanks for being here. Did you have fun? I take it.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great to hear. And yeah. Because Fred's in my server, Patrick, if you want to ask him any questions, I think you can message him. I'm sure he'd allow that, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys miss any questions, you can message Fred if you want. I'm sure he'll answer. Oh, he's gone.
I'll probably message Fred the Russian voices of his characters to get his reaction and what he thinks of the official Russian dubs of his roles.
That's cool. So did Rhino get a Russian dub, Alexander?
Which one?
Rhino
did get a Russian dub, yes.
That's cool. Yeah. So Don, because you just recently joined, yeah, how's your week been since we last streamed?
Good.
I gotta go now.
Oh, take care, Alexander. Have a nice flight. Yeah, stay safe. Yeah, look after yourself.
See you, Alex.
Yeah.
You know what? Since I'm edit my reaction video.
Yeah. So, and if any of you guys in the chat had questions, then and I didn't read them out, then please forgive me because I was letting Fred say what he wanted to say and all that. So yeah, forgive me for missing any comments. All right, I try my best to answer all of them. Let Fred answer them.
Yeah, there's only one question that I missed.
Yeah, what were you going to ask him, Ozzy?
If work with Nolan North.
Well, I imagine he might have done, because he's in Uncharted 3, Aussie, Fred.
Yeah, he voices. What does he voice?
I think he was a lieutenant, didn't he, Blaze? Like a lieutenant character.
I know in Uncharted 2, in Uncharted 1, he voices the zombies, doesn't he?
Yeah. And I think he was also in the first who God of War games too, Blaze, as characters.
Oh, TC Carson. We could have asked him about TC.
We could have done, yeah. I mean, there's so many questions to ask Fred because of how big of an actor he is, yeah.
Yeah, and I was probably going to be asking him about his robot voices because he's done a lot of robots.
Yeah. And yes, and yes, Blaze. Last night I sent him our read-up of Megatron and Soundwave, so yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Don, if you wonder what happened just then, we were interviewing a prominent voice actor called Fred Tatasciore.
An absolute legend. Absolute
Yeah.
legendary one.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah, one of the best voice actors of all time, one of my favorites ever, and it was an absolute honor to speak to him as well. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. And now, guys, to honor Fred, I am currently playing as Bane in Injustice: Gods Among Us on my PS Vita to honor Fred.
I'm playing as Darth Vader and Lego Skywalker Saga right now.
That's amazing, Ozzy, honoring Fred too. Yeah. Yeah. In case you're wondering, Don, Fred voices Darth Vader in Lego Skywalker Saga.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because you play that game, don't you, Don? So yeah, he voices Vader in that game. Yeah, and also as well, when you came here, Don, of course, as well, you of course watched John Wick 4 last night, didn't you?
I sure did.
Yeah, so did I, and wow, it was just awesome, wasn't it?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, oh man.
Yeah, it was definitely worth the wait, and it's definitely my favorite movie of the year so far.
Yeah, and personally, I think it's going to be the last John Wick film I'll watch.
Yeah, I think it might be mine too, really, because I don't really see the point in watching more. But I will be watching that spin-off called Ballerina because that's going to be like a prequel film before Chapter 4 done, so hopefully it won't ruin anything.
Yeah, kind of showing exactly. Hopefully, it kind of shows exactly how like John Wick's comfortable, like giant with like Winston again after Chapter 3.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, and I'll definitely be watching that, of course, especially because it's one of Lance Reddick's final films too. So yeah, rest in peace, Lance.
Yeah, I'm watching that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched for Lance.
Yeah. Obviously, Don, we can't talk spoilers here because some people have not seen it yet, so we can't spoil the movie.
I still need to be getting into that series.
Yeah, looking at you in for a treat.
You are in for a massive treat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah, Blaze, go ahead.
So whose stack are you gonna break in Injustice today?
I
just bought Superman's just now.
Okay, so what I was gonna say, you are in for a massive treat with non-stop action.
Yeah, full of action. The movies. I love all 4 movies. In fact, guys, it's hard for me to rank them because they're so good. Really hard.
Okay. So for me, I rank them as 3, 1, 4, then 2.
It's hard for me. It's hard, really, for me. It's really hard.
For me,
you did technically do a ranking, I think, a year ago, but I can't remember how you ranked them.
Well, of course, looking at that's going to change because I'll need to, of course, update it, won't I? And honestly, it's hard, really. And sometimes my opinion on the films changes, and these days I like to edge towards 3 because John Leguizamo's thankfully not in that movie. Screw that guy.
Yeah, you see what? I kind of prefer 3 over 1 nowadays.
Yeah, screw John Leguizamo.
I'm guessing in the future you might someday do reviews for the other 3 films.
Well, yeah, of course I will, Lucky Nerd. Of course I will. I wouldn't say no to that all.
It's also special for me because that's the very first live-action Keanu Reeves movie I got to watch in theaters.
I think it might be mine too, actually.
I think it's for me too.
Yeah. So it was definitely an amazing one to watch. Yeah.
For me, it's 4, then 1, then 3, then 2.
That's cool, Don. I saw your review, by the way, Don. It was really good, and yeah, I like to say higher patriot to Lance Reddick at the start.
Yeah. Wasn't gonna forget about that.
Yeah, in my review, guys, I talked about Lance as well, and yeah, pay my respects to him. And I will pay my respects to him by, watching his projects and playing games he's in and all that as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch Lance Reddick in get more shows, more movies, and play his games that he's in.
Yeah, I think he's an underrated great actor, guys, Lance Reddick. Yeah, and I'll miss him very much.
Yeah.
And even though, of course, I have lots of hate for that Resident Evil Netflix show, it didn't affect my love for Lance at all, that show.
It's just not fair that he was taken away from us so soon, and also a week prior to John Wick 4.
Yeah, and he was only 62, guys, so yeah, he died too soon.
Look, I just can't believe he died that young.
Yeah, too young. Yeah, it's very unfair. I saw Fury God did Joseph. That's good. Yeah, I thought it was good too, but I like the first Shazam movie more though.
Yeah,
same here.
Yeah, Fury Gods was still good, but and in my opinion, it's my last DCU movie for me.
Yeah, same here. I'm not looking at this mistake again like I did with the MCU.
Yeah, I don't see a point in continuing at all. So yeah, I'm happily done with DC now. So yeah.
Yeah, because somebody's just gonna basically ruin the characters, and he's probably even gonna ruin Shazam too.
Yeah, James Dunn, of course.
He seems fine including Shazam, but he's probably gonna ruin Shazam.
Of course.
I think I know how he will do it. I'm not gonna say how because I don't want to imagine it.
Yeah. Shadow, before we started the stream, is there anything else that you talked about with Fred?
Well, of course, I first told him that who my favorite roles of his were. He just called Hulk and Solomon.
Yeah,
and,
Solomon Grundy. Yeah.
And and we talked about the Arkham games, like, and then he would later on talk about Ken Conroy.
Yeah, rest in peace.
And Mark Hamill. And
Yeah.
shortly before the stream started, we were mentioning Stan Lee.
Yeah, he met him, which is really awesome. Yeah, and a privilege. Yeah. Yeah, meeting Stan Lee would have been incredible.
Yeah, sure would.
Yeah. So all I can say is that, yeah, Fred is a legend, and it was honored to have him here. Easily, in my opinion, the best guest we've had on the streams so far.
Yeah, this is my favorite stream.
Yeah, like when we started the stream, guys, my heart was pounding with excitement.
I can't blame.
And last night, guys, when Fred got in touch with me, my heart was pounding at that too as well, because last night, guys, I was making a voice comparison for Blue Beetle from DC, and when I got a text from Fred, he was like, so, and we were planning what to do. Yeah, I was amazed, starstruck.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think I've also done a few comparisons which feature Fred.
Yeah, you have, Lucky Nerd. Yeah, and I've of course included him a lot in mine too. And yeah, I'll also as well send Fred, guys, my line comparison of him versus James Earl Jones as Darth Vader. So considering he spoke highly of James Earl Jones earlier, I think he'll be happy to hear his voice alongside James Earl Jones's. Because in case you're wondering, Don, Fred Tatasciore is a big fan of James Earl Jones.
Nice.
Yeah, just like how.
I absolutely loved to hear that.
Yeah.
And honestly, my heart was pounding when he said that he would love to have James Earl Jones on this stream.
Yeah, if it was a way to get in touch with him, Shadow, I would definitely go for it, 100%. So yeah, and
like man, talking to Darth Vader himself on these streams would be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it would. We got to be patient, though, guys, because James Earl Jones, of course, he's in his 90s, so he's really busy, isn't he? And yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Really bad dollar. So Blue Beetle's voice actor called Anthony Del Rio got robbed. Oh dear. And Fred helped him out. Oh well, you know what, bad dollar. Fred's earned my respect for that. Helping Anthony Del Rio when he got robbed.
Yeah,
I mean, my respect for Fred has definitely got higher up now. I mean, I always had respect for Fred because he was he's such a fun guy, and just I had honor speaking to him, and yeah. And in case you guys are wondering how I managed to get him on this week, it's because Blaze sent me a text while I was playing a game that Fred was doing a live stream on Instagram. He was doing like an Overwatch convention, and I was in the comments, and I asked him, can you please check your emails because we want to invite you to a stream. And Fred saw my comments, and he was like, I will. And yeah, from the day after that, he got in touch with Blaze.
I think I was briefly on that stream.
Yeah, looking at it, I saw that you mentioned me, but I didn't see you there. Like, I don't know why Instagram didn't tell me you were there. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah. Look, actually, I saw a small part of that stream as well.
You saw it, did you, Shadow? Nice.
Only a little bit.
Well, you please know as well, at the end of the stream when he was like talking to his fans, I told him he's my second favourite voice of Vader after James Earl Jones, and he said he was honoured, and he said, yes, James Earl Jones is the man. So the fact that he praised James Earl Jones also earned my respect as well for that.
Oh, he sure has earned a lot and a lot more of my respect.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that, he helped out. And also that stream as well for Overwatch was actually a charity stream as well, helping out with an earthquake that happened somewhere as well. So yeah, I love that the cast of Overwatch did that stream. And because of that, guys, I'm going to play Overwatch 2 one day on PS4, the game. It's a free-to-play game as well, so that'll be easy to play, won't it?
Yeah. We'll get back into Overwatch 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely...
During my middle school days, I played the game a lot.
And Ozzy, when you played it, did you have a favourite character?
Yeah, Soldier 76.
Well, that's Fred's character.
Yeah, that's literally my starter character. When my friends were like, pick somebody else, I'm just like, I'll pass.
Yeah, so you stuck to Soldier 76, did you?
Yep, because he was my main. He was the best character I was able to use throughout the game.
Yeah. And also as well, guys, today I only got one thing, literally just one thing today, no films or games. I just got a figure of Black Mask from DC Comics as well. Yeah, I got his figure of him. It was only £8 too, which was a very good price for it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice one.
And
is that from an Arkham game?
It doesn't say like Arkham game. It says something called Secret Files Ozzy for like the raw gallery of Batman villains and all that. So I have no idea what source it's from.
Oh.
Yeah. And today, guys, as well as like playing Injustice a lot, I also as well unboxed my figure of Lex Luthor from New 52 DC as well. Yeah. And this week I've been unboxing more figures too as well. So, for example, on Sunday last week, I unboxed my figure of Jug from the Dark Knight Returns comic and animated movie two-parter, and also my figure of Robin from that same storyline as well. So yeah, which is really cool. Yeah, and it was. And also, though, next Sunday, guys, I'm hoping to order a figure of Batman from The Dark Knight Returns wearing his regular outfit as well. So hopefully I can find that. Yeah. And I gotta say, guys, the Batsuit in that comic story and the Armored Batman especially, of course, I believe that was the inspiration for Ben Affleck's Batman costumes, which was really cool.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, which is really awesome. So Don, just out of curiosity, have you got a favourite voice role of Fred Tatasciore?
Darth Vader.
Wow, that's cool.
Interesting.
Well, it's a great choice. That's my third favourite role of his, actually, behind Hulk and Megatron. Oh, who left us? Bemund. Oh dear. Hope he's okay.
Yeah, I texted him back in the no mic chat.
Oh, okay. Wait, did he say
He'll be back later?
Did he say he's gotta go somewhere? Let me have a
He
look.
didn't say where, but he said he will be coming back later.
Okay. No problem. Yes, but all I'm pretty sure they gave Fred some effects when he voiced Tremor in Mortal Kombat. That definitely sounds like his effects. I mean, I was going to praise him as Tremor when he was on the stream earlier, because that's, in my opinion, his most underrated role, Tremor, for Mortal Kombat. And I gotta say, it literally sounds like he's made out of stone when he speaks, which makes sense because he's like a storm-based character, Tremor. Because you know, like how the ninjas in Mortal Kombat have like elemental powers, don't they, guys? Like Scorpion is fire, Sub-Zero's ice, and all that.
Yeah.
Well, Tremor has the power of Earth, where he's like, you know, rocks and all that.
Kind of like Cole from Ninjago.
Yeah, it's all like that, really. Yeah. Only it's like full on stone, basically, and rocks, which is definitely, you know, Tremor, in my opinion, is definitely his most underrated role. And also, as an Assassin's Creed fan as well, guys, I love him as Mario in Assassin's Creed 2. And also, Ozzy, do you know what's really funny? When we first see him in Assassin's Creed 2, he actually says, "It's a me, Mario." And if Fred was on the stream, guys, I'd have asked him if that was the intention, you know, to reference Mario when he said that line in the game. Because, like, it's not every day you hear a Mario or reference in Assassin's Creed, is it?
Yeah, considering that those are two different genres of franchises.
Yeah. And speaking of Mario, guys, of course, in 2 weeks, I'm going to be watching that in the cinema with my brother because he wants to go see it.
Same. I'll be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going all Mario mode when I go to watch it in theaters.
Yeah. I think apart from Seth Rogen, guys, I think it's going to be a good movie.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Yeah.
The third trailer alone.
Yeah.
100% this is a masterpiece.
Yeah. You know, Illumination should definitely put their skills on the table when making this animated movie.
Yeah.
Because you know when I keep looking at the Mario movies animation, it doesn't even look like it came out of Illumination. It kind of looks like something from Disney or Pixar.
Yeah, they've definitely done a great job with the animation. It looks realistic in some shots, actually. Very realistic.
Put a lot of effort into it.
I mean, I think I could say the same thing for Rise of Gru as well, because that one had a very good animation too. So yeah, looks like Illumination are definitely, you know, back on track when it comes to animation and improvements.
I was gonna say it's nice to see them step up their game for a change.
Indeed, yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to the Mario movie, though, I know for a fact I won't be giving it a score for higher than 10.
Yeah.
Well,
I can already imagine my score might be 9 because of Seth Rogen being in it. So yeah, screw that guy.
I'm either gonna give it a 9 or a 9.5.
Yeah. But yeah, it's very fortunate, Shadow, that you're able to watch it in English, aren't you? At your cinema, isn't it? Very fortunate.
Yeah, but it might change. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully, it'll work well for you.
Because I really, really want to see this movie.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Yeah, mainly because I want to support Chris Pratt as well, guys, and show some love for Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Pratt's a legend.
I also want to give support to for all three companies, Universal, Illumination, and Nintendo.
Yeah, of course. Good idea. And I also saw definitely think that Jack Black will definitely be one of the standouts of the film because he sounds unrecognisable in the film. He really does sound unrecognisable.
He's already the best actor in the movie. I gotta say.
I think he's going to steal the show. Yeah.
And I also think that Bowser might actually be my second favorite role of us.
That's cool. I see Daniel's joined us. Welcome, Daniel.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Going pretty well, Daniel. As you probably saw earlier, Daniel, we were talking to the voice actor Fred Tatasciore. We had a really fun time. It was an absolute honour working with him. No, sorry, talking to him. Talking to him, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, how's it going for you, Daniel?
I actually just got off a video phone call with Sean Chandler.
Oh wow, you spoke to Sean Chandler.
Whoa.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh wow.
And what did you get up to, Daniel? Talking to him about?
He was telling me all about Dungeons and Dragons, actually.
Oh, the movie.
Well, yeah, and it was also his experience as a child playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh wow.
So what happened is, right now he's currently in Cleveland to go to some Comic-Con, but before he went to the Comic-Con, he and a couple of his buddies went and saw Dungeons & Dragons early, and as soon as he got out of the theater, he and I had like a 15-minute video chat, which ended a couple minutes ago, and he was like, dude, I think this movie's going to make a lot of money. This is like Lord of the Rings type fantasy right here.
Really?
So
he didn't give me any spoilers or anything like that, so I have no idea of whether or not the movie's going to be good, in my opinion. But he reassured me that it's not going to like piss me off or anything.
That's yes. I suppose that's good. That I suppose it's good that Sean enjoyed it, Daniel. So yeah.
Well, depending how things go, I might just watch it when it comes to a streaming service. Maybe not in theaters, but streaming service.
Well, yeah, I'm not really interested in the film, guys. 'Cause I'm not a Dungeons & Dragons fan to begin with, so I'm not interested. So I hope you guys can understand that.
Yeah, I understand that. I probably won't watch in theaters because, again, I'm not a Dungeons & Dragons fan myself. But I played some of it, but I'm not like a diehard fan of it.
Yeah. So
I too am not a Dungeons and Dragons fan, and what I'm hoping the movie will do is get me into Dungeons and Dragons. That's the only reason why I want to see it.
Yeah. So Daniel, you know how you sport to see? Isn't Sean your favorite YouTuber, Daniel?
Yes.
Well, because you spoke to him on a video call, and of course you met him face to face, didn't you, Daniel?
Yeah, like 10 months ago now.
Yeah. So do you understand now how I feel? Of course, how I got to speak to Jay on these streams. My favorite YouTuber.
I think that effect will increase by 100% if you actually got to meet him in person.
Yeah, I'd be honored to meet Jay in person. Yeah. I mean, obviously, though, he wouldn't. I don't think he'd want to include me on his video because he doesn't do like reaction or anything like that anymore. But yeah, I'd include him on my videos, of course. I'm sure he'd be happy about that. I mean,
speaking of that, thank you for blocking that Instagram user that posted that stupid meme, Luke. Thank you for that.
Anyone who posts that disgusting meme, Daniel's going to get an instant block from me. So yeah, you have my word on that.
I did that as well.
Yeah, because that meme is beyond disgusting, and the less we see it, the better. So yeah, we pause and block.
Yeah, because whenever I see that meme, it automatically puts me in a bad mood.
Yes, makes me very angry.
So, in case you guys weren't aware, and I'm talking to Don, there was this Instagram user that, for some reason, decided it was a good idea to post the J meme. And as soon as I saw it, I immediately messaged a lot of these guys, Ozzy, Shadow, Luke, and I think X-Blaze, and telling them this meme is disgusting. I'm just going to block the user. And it's good to know they did the same.
Yeah, we blocked him for that.
Good.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this means because
it's probably best for you don't know about it looking at because it is very disgusting. And the less we speak about it better.
Okay.
Which is why I lost respect for Schaeferless Productions.
Yeah, but tell me what the account user is so I can block it.
Yeah, I can message. I can DM you the user. Lucky. So
yeah, that'll definitely help out. Yeah.
Yeah, please do that so I can just block them.
Yeah.
Here, let me see.
Yeah. It'll be very helpful. Yeah.
Here, give me a second.
Just be sure. Which user was this again?
I don't remember the name of who the user was. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say it out loud because I don't want people on the stream trying to find the user.
Can you just send me the user as well?
Yeah, I'll private message both of you. So give me a second. I'm looking for it.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right, Joseph. You know, Jay is a very special person to us. He's my favorite YouTuber of all time, and always will be. And he's a very dear friend as well to me as well because we've spoken on the streams. He's a lovely guy. Doesn't deserve any of the hate he gets at all.
I wasn't even aware that he got any hate. That's just disgusting. Yeah,
unfortunately, Daniel, when he was a reactor, he got loads of haters and all that, you know, being really rude and disrespectful. So I feel sorry for Jay.
I don't understand why.
Speaking of that, my buddy Sean got the exact same thing. He actually did a couple videos reading mean comments and making fun of him.
Oh, wow. Well, that's class, isn't it, how he did? That's class.
I'm pretty sure I told Luke this, but Dan, if you don't know, when I was in my middle school days, when I watched, Jay practically helped me get through middle school. Whenever I had a lot of bad days, I just went to his channel and watched his videos.
Yeah, same for me, yeah. I watched him when I was in sixth form.
Yeah,
speaking of middle school, I have a middle school story to share with you guys.
Yeah, Daniel.
Alright.
So I think, Ozzy, since you're 3 years younger than me, this probably happened when you were in elementary school, but I remember back when I was in middle school when Despicable Me 2 came out. The first day I got to school for 7th grade, everybody was jamming to that Pharrell Williams music from Despicable Me 2.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I know what you mean.
That was a popular song, of course. So I'm not surprised.
I remember being in primary or year 7 and people were playing that.
Yeah, it was popular back then, weren't it?
Yeah,
very
it
popular.
was
Same with
year 8
Gangnam Style.
for me when that happened.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I am 20, and I'm only 3 months away from turning 21.
Wow.
Oh, I'm 19.
Oh, Daniel, you're actually 1 year older than me.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 20 as well.
Yeah. I'll, of course, be 24 this year. Can't believe I'm getting old.
Yep, I'll be the same age. And again, me and you are both the same age. You're only a few, two months younger than me.
Only 25 this year.
Wow.
25, huh?
Yeah, so pretty much both Shadow and Danny are basically the same age as my older brother.
Yeah. Hey, Connor, you seen Top Gun, are you, for the first time? Well, I hope you enjoy it, man. Yeah, is it the first one on Connor? Because if so, then yeah, you'll like it. But I like the sequel better for Maverick.
Yeah, I love Maverick.
Maverick was one of the greatest films
Oh,
of last year.
It was, yeah. It should have won, the Oscars that, Way of Water won, of course. It should have won the ones that Way of Water won, shouldn't it?
Honestly, I think Lady Gaga's song, the Hold My Hand song, I think that should have won an award too.
It should have done, yeah.
the Oscars.
Unfortunately, it didn't, did it, sadly, which really sucks. But
Yeah.
that song was great. And Lady Gaga is one of my favourite singers, too.
The song's also pretty emotional the more you keep listening to it.
Yeah, it is emotional indeed, yeah. Hits a lot, yeah. That's great, Connie. You're watching the first one tonight, and you're going to watch Rabbit tomorrow if you enjoy the first one. Yeah, I hope you do. And also, if you didn't see Connor, at the start of the stream, I was in the stream of voice actor Fred Tatasciore. We spoke for an hour, and he was a lovely guy. Hey, Kyle, how's it going?
I love talking to Fred.
Yeah.
Holy crap, Fred was so awesome.
Yeah, legend. Hopefully he'll come back later on as well, yeah. So if you guys missed the conversation with Fred, then I'll keep it streaming when it's over, so you can guys come watch the conversation afterwards. I mean, I'll be rewatching it a lot in future.
Oh, yeah.
Like literally, it is at the very first second of the stream.
Yeah, it literally starts off with me introducing Fred, yeah.
I tend to rewatch a lot of the streams, to be honest.
That's great, Ozzy. I really appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, especially the funny moments that happen on stream.
But I'm not watching Joker 2 because Joker did not even need a sequel to begin with, and secondly, it's going to be a goddamn musical. As soon as I heard it was going to be a musical, I was out of Joker 2.
Yeah, DC musical, that's not going to work for me.
Yeah, the first one didn't need a sequel to begin with, so there's no point. I ended perfectly fine. I mean, good luck to the casting crew of that, but I'm not interested.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep rewatching the original.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
It was perfect on its own. So yeah, I'm not watching Joker 2.
I think Joker 2 will be an example of a movie that I'll watch that you guys don't have to.
Well, thank you, Daniel. I really appreciate you doing that for me. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, that way, yeah. Then you can post your thoughts.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason why is because Joaquin Phoenix was comfortable to finally allow himself to do a sequel, and so anytime that he's interested in doing a sequel, that immediately gets my attention. But as I said before, I understand why you guys are not going to watch it.
I don't see your point.
And I respect your opinion.
Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. All right, take care, Connor. Hope you have fun with Top Gun. What, Blaze?
I'm actually 5 years older than my brother.
Wow, 5 years.
Yeah, I'm going to be 20 this year, and he's actually 15 this year.
Wow. I mean, I do like musical. I do like musicals, guys, and stuff like that, but I don't think it's gonna work for Joker.
Yeah, same here.
No, I don't think it's gonna work.
I mean, I love things like Les Miserables and The Greatest Showman, and there's probably other two down the line that I do like, but I don't think it fits Joker, in my opinion.
Nope. To be honest, the only DC character where could work as a musical is the Music Meister.
Well, of course, yeah, Music Meister, musical.
Yep, that is the only one.
Yeah.
mean, just making musical out of him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Blaze. Did it feel good to finally ask Fred about the Necromorphs in Dead Space?
Yeah.
That's great to hear. I'm glad you were satisfied with that. Yeah.
I knew it was him because he sounded like Hulk in the game.
Yeah, you can literally imagine it's Hulk turning into a Necromorph, can't you?
Yeah. And there's also Steve Blum as Reptile chasing you there.
That sounds pretty freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to talk to Fred. An absolute honor and privilege. And at the start of the stream, of course, I also as well did a Hulk impression too. So yeah. Where I of course had Hulk's iconic catchphrase, Hulk smash.
Yeah.
I mean, we all did it to honor Fred. And right now, guys, I'm playing Injustice Gods Among Us, playing as Bane, who of course voices in the game. And I just broke him the back of Doomsday. You know nothing of strength. My pleasure, Kyle. I'm glad you like my Indiana Jones reviews. And Raiders is your favorite movie, Kyle. Well, I can't blame you. Raiders of the Lost Ark is a masterpiece. It's my favorite Spielberg movie of all time. I adore Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm glad you like my reviews, man. Thank you.
Yeah, that's also my favorite.
That's cool, Blaze. Yeah, because you recently watched movies, didn't you, Blaze?
Yeah, I didn't really like the fourth one that much.
Not a lot of people do, Blaze, and I can't blame everyone. I don't like it that much. I think it's mediocre.
Yeah, it's fine.
You can tolerate it.
I'd rather watch
again over the fifth movie.
I mean, I would rather watch Battle over the Disney World sequel trashology any day.
Yeah. Well, the fourth one, in my opinion, was just unnecessary.
It was, yeah, totally necessary.
Not to mention they had a really annoying character.
Yeah, Mutt, screw Mutt.
Oh, I forgot to mention one more thing about my chat with Sean.
Oh yeah, Daniel, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So one thing that me and Sean talked about was how board game movie adaptations, more times than not, can be hit or miss. Like, the reason why Jumanji works is that it wasn't based off of a pre-existing board game. It was based on a children's book by Chris Van Allsburg, and therefore it works.
Ooh.
But when you have things like 2012's Battleship, you can really see the misfire in, board game adaptations, which is why Sean reassured me that, hey, this isn't Battleship 2012. That curse is kind of like video game adaptations. The curse is slowly starting to lift. So I'm grateful that we're not getting Battleship with this.
Yeah. And
Battleship awful.
As you guys can see as well here, Susie's here as well.
Hey, Susie.
Hey, Susie.
Lily's in my bed sleeping, guys. So yeah, but Susie's here. She's very loud, isn't she? Right, go on, man. Go to bed.
And one thing I can say about Battleship is thank God my brother saw it, so I didn't have to.
Yeah, Battleship. Wasn't that a 2012 film, guys? Live action.
Yeah, and it was atrocious.
Well,
oh my God, I remember my brother hated it.
I mean, I didn't see it, guys, so I can't comment. So wasn't Rihanna in that movie? Wasn't Rihanna in that? Rihanna.
She was a supporting character.
Oh God.
Well, please don't watch it.
Like, I still remember when he came back from the movie, he took the board game out of his room. And he was like, "Okay, it's yours."
Wow.
He just gave it to me.
Which film was this again?
Battleship. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Battleship 2012.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently it wasn't good from what I've heard, but I've not seen it, and I don't really plan to. I'm not interested.
I'm not going to. I'm just going to take my brother's word on what he said about it.
Yeah. There's also.
Do you want to know the people that were most offended by Battleship the movie?
Was it players? Was it board game players, Daniel, who play a board game?
That was actually the second group. The first group would pretty much be the entire population of Texas because the director of Battleship is known for creating possibly the greatest Texas TV show of all time in Friday Night Lights. So for him to go from prestige, like really awesome television show on Friday Night Lights with Kyle Chandler, Taylor Kitsch, and then the final season, Michael B. Jordan, to follow it up with Battleship, like that just really soured a lot of people in Texas.
Yeah.
Wow.
Speaking of games, guys, Fred's also in a video game franchise I'm going to be playing called Gears of War, the Xbox franchise, and I'll definitely looking forward to hearing him in that.
John DiMaggio.
Yeah, he plays. You know, speaking of John Blaze, I saw a figure of Marcus today at an action figure store.
Oh wow!
I might probably get one next week actually. So yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna talk of a Battleship film, guys. I'm not going to watch it. I mean, Ozzy and Shadow. Would you guys call it Battle S word?
Yeah, I think I would based on my brother told me.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to rely on you guys who talked about it. You know, your brother Ozzy and and you too, Shadow. And Shadow, wasn't Liam Neeson in Battleship?
He was, and
Oh no.
I haven't seen the movie in years, but I seem to remember that he got wasted.
Oh no, no.
Yeah, I remember. He was barely even in the movie much.
Well, that really sucks.
Now, when you mean wasted, do you mean like wasted his role or killed? Because I don't remember his character being killed in Battleship.
Yeah, tell me, guys.
Wasted his role. Yeah, I think he didn't really. They just wasted his time, pretty much.
Yeah.
He didn't have a lot.
He appears to get at the end.
Speaking of Liam Neeson, guys, Fred Tatasciore earned my respect when he praised Liam earlier by saying he can play all different kinds of roles. He's right. But yeah, Fred is a legend.
Because of that, I'm planning to watch the first Taken movie at some point.
Oh, you'll love Taken, Ozzy, but
movie.
in my opinion, Taken a little best as a standalone movie. So I'd recommend to not watch a sequel because in my opinion they're not good.
Oh yeah, I know. I remember I saw your video on that.
And did it make you want to watch the sequels, Ozzy?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take your word and stick to the first movie.
Yeah, Taken 2. Taken 2 is an awful, boring remake of the first movie with the same plot and all that, just 10 times worse. And the third one is literally just a live-action cartoon.
Doesn't that just involve Liam Neeson just punching random people?
That's why I said it is. Yeah, you can watch it as an unintentional comedy of Liam Neeson punching people all the time.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Line always made me laugh.
Would you watch Taken 3 or Lil Nicky?
Probably Taken 3, Blaze, because I give you Lil Nicky 0 out of 10. I give Taken I think a quite a low score actually, but not 0 out of 10.
Would you watch any of the Uwe Boll movies or Taken?
Taken by far, because I heard Uwe Boll's films got panned.
Yeah, they are all bad, literally.
Yeah, Daniel, as someone who's had the unfortunate time of watching Uwe Boll's movies, would you rather watch the Taken films by Country Mile?
Will I take Oliver Megatron or
no, I'm asking, would you rather watch the Taken films with Liam Neeson or the Uwe Boll's movies by Country Mile?
Oh, well, in that case, yes.
Yeah, because I know you've had the unfortunate pain of watching those films, haven't you? By Uwe Boll, haven't you?
Brought me physical back pain, which still hurts to this day.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah.
Oh.
Apart from Blaze and Daniel, who've of course seen some of the movies, have you guys ever seen films by Uwe Boll?
Never.
I don't think I want to give his stuff a chance based on what I've been hearing.
Me neither. I mean, even the actors who've been in films apparently hated it, like Michael Madsen, for example. So, you know, I can't really blame Michael Madsen for that.
Also, I hate how he wasted how he ruined video games as well.
Yeah, because Blaze, doesn't he like just do video game adaptations? You know, back when he was doing lots of those movies.
Yeah, he did a movie on Blood Rain.
Yeah, Blood Rain. I heard that was panned on release.
Yeah, then he did one on Alone in the Dark.
Oh God.
That was also.
So he basically just never did anything original.
Yeah.
Video game movies.
Now, I've also got another question to ask you guys as well, right? When it comes to my content, I'll ask you guys one by one as well, right? So I can get all your answers. Would you rather watch me do videos, guys? You guys in the comments, of course, answer this if you want to. Do you prefer to watch me do videos where I show true love for a franchise, like pure love, or where I'm ranting about bad movies? Tell me.
Oh man, that's a hard one.
That's a tough one.
I love both of the videos.
Yeah.
I like both of them. I would probably say praising them, like how you praised the Star Wars prequel trilogy, which I found incredibly satisfying to watch.
Well, yeah, I love prequels. You always will do.
Oh yeah, and I also love that you praised what is now your favorite movie of all time,
Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
Yeah, I absolutely adore that film, guys. Never gets old.
The best Marvel movie I've ever
watched it.
My
Greatest
favorite.
Marvel film ever.
To Marvel as well.
Yeah, because Blaze, that's your favorite film as well, isn't it? Spider-Man 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't blame you. Don, did you say your answer to a question? Do you prefer to watch videos where I praise franchises and show love, or when I'm ranting about bad movies? Don.
What?
Yeah,
what's going on?
I was asking you, you know, when it comes to a question I asked earlier, would you rather watch me do videos where I show pure love and praise for franchises, or where I'm ranting about bad movies?
Either one's fine.
That's great. I mean, did you guys enjoy my Evil Dead ranking I did it on Tuesday?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I did. Even though I didn't watch the movies yet, I still saw it. Same thing with TCM.
Look, I didn't see that ranking.
Well, that's
mainly because I want to see them for after I watch those movies.
Well, you're in for a treat, Shadow. Yeah. So, and Ozzy, how did you react to the intro that I did?
I thought there was going to be a jump scare.
Really love that.
Yeah, because in case you guys wondering, I was paying homage to the Evil Dead 2013 post-credit scene.
Yeah, then when I saw Lucky's comment, I just replied to him saying it was cool.
Thank you, Ozzy. I really appreciate that. Lucky Nerd, because you made that comment, what did you think of the intro?
That was definitely unexpected, but wow. Definitely a good jump scare.
Yeah.
Actually, I wouldn't say cool. I would say groovy.
Thank you. Thank you, Ozzy. I appreciate that. Don, how did you react to the intro that I did for Evil Dead ranking?
I really enjoyed that intro.
Yeah, how did you react when you saw it, Don? Like, were you surprised?
Yeah, that was actually very creative.
Thank you, Don. And that intro is going to be used again in the future, guys, of course.
Yeah, because we have Evil Dead Rise coming out.
Yeah, because I'm going to post my review for that when I check it out, guys. So, yeah, stay tuned.
Wait,
And
Evil Dead Rise was creepy.
And I'll
the
do
trailer
my
is,
Evil
yeah.
Dead ranking after I see that movie.
That's,
I saw the trailer again and John Wick for it. I mean, yeah, and I was just like, oh god, that is so violent.
You know what's interesting, guys, is my theatre yesterday didn't play any trailers for movies. It just skipped right into a movie after the advert for some reason.
You know, that's probably for the best considering that it also didn't play that really awful Nicole Kidman commercial.
Yeah, well,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it didn't play for me, thankfully, that Nicole Kidman thing here for me.
Me neither.
Thankfully.
Yeah, because Dan and I, we both go to AMC theaters here in America, and they played that a lot ever since they hit their 100-year anniversary.
I imagine it's terrible.
Yeah, which is why last night I went to a different theater, which was Regal Cinemas at my mall. I mean, Dan might have heard of it if it's in his area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of Regal. I live closer to AMC, but of course been to Regal.
Yeah. Daniel, did you by any chance see my Evil Dead ranking on Tuesday?
Yeah, quick question. Were you using your natural English accent when you were saying groovy?
Yeah, I did. Because I can't really do an impression of Bruce Campbell, so please forgive me on that.
No, you're good. I can understand.
Yeah. I mean, were you surprised by the intro, Daniel?
No, because I was expecting it, but that doesn't mean you weren't bad. You were really good with it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who watched it, were surprised based on what I've been hearing, yeah. And Kyle here says he loves it. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that. Yeah. Evil Dead is definitely my favourite horror franchise of all time. I adore Evil Dead. And of course, on my desk, guys, as always, of course, I've got my figure of Ash with me. Always on my desk, where my lamp is.
Yeah, I saw him yesterday when I was roaming around my mall before I saw the movie.
That's cool. Which version of Ash was it, Ozzy, that you saw?
I believe it was Evil Dead 2.
Oh yeah, I've got that figure as well. Unfortunately, one now doesn't come with a chainsaw, sadly, for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I decided to look up that clip when he puts on the chainsaw, and that was pretty badass.
Yeah, it's very badass. The second film, really develops Ash well and makes him an absolute badass. What I love about sequels, guys, is how they have, characters to be developed to become badasses like that. It's brilliant. Yes, but Don J. Corleone is here right now. Yeah, have you got something to ask him? I'm sure he'd love to answer it. And also, guys, now that I've wrapped up my Jurassic Park reviews filming, I'll be Next week I'll be rewatching Iron Man.
You're watching my movie, Luke.
Well, you of course voice Iron Man, don't you, Blaze?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll be reviewing the MCU now from the beginning to
The Infinity
to
Saga,
Endgame.
yes, lucky nerd. The Infinity Saga, to be specific.
It's actually kind of cool that you reviewed Far From Home first, because that means in your MCU review, the final movie you'll be reviewing is Endgame.
Exactly, that's the whole point, really, of it. And also, guys, I'm going to time the release of my review for Iron Man on Robert Downey Jr.'s birthday, April 4th.
You know, speaking of Robert Downey Jr. birthday, do you plan on watching any other RDJ movies aside from the first Iron Man?
If there's any that comes with streaming services, Daniel, sure.
Yo, Luke,
You might want to look up Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, because I heard it recently got put on Sky. I could be wrong.
Well, I'll see if I can. I know you spoke highly about film, didn't you, Daniel? So I'll see if I can watch it. Tell you what I think of it.
Hey, Luke, check
Well, that's good.
And also, Daniel, if you're wondering what my bog quality is all about film called Upgrade, it's probably very fault similar to RoboCop in my opinion in some cases.
Wait, I didn't hear that. Can you say that again?
You know the movie Upgrade with Logan Marshall Green?
Yep.
My bad quality about my film is it fault similar to RoboCop in some areas.
Oh, the familiarity with RoboCop you weren't crazy about?
Well, I just say it's one of my bad qualities. Yeah, it felt too similar to it in some cases. You know, the whole idea of someone being injured and then getting upgraded, if you will.
So, other than that, would you say that it was a pretty good ride?
I'd say so, yeah, and it's definitely my favorite role of Logan Marshall Green. Definitely better than Shocker in Spider-Man Homecoming, because that performance, in my opinion, was shockingly bad.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, that was intentional.
Hey, Luke, check no my chat.
What have you posted, Blaze?
Oh, it's a thumbnail.
What is this for you? One of your reactions, Blaze?
Yeah, it's for the next reaction.
Wait, are you acting to a new Tekken game, Blaze?
Yeah, there's new trailers that came out. I was like, oh yeah, let me do them.
Nice.
What do you think of King doing the pedigree on me?
Well, it's hilarious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought Upgrade was really good, Daniel, and you know what? I wouldn't mind if it did a sequel to it either.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see Leigh Whannell directing anything anytime soon, so yeah, I'd be open for a sequel.
Yeah, I think it ended on a bit of like a cliffhanger, didn't it, really, which didn't really close off very well, did it? So I'm hoping they'll do more to come, really, to close things off, really, I guess.
Also, I will say that I definitely prefer Leigh Whannell as a director more so than an actor.
Yeah. So yeah, I will see if I can watch Kiss This Bang Bang one day as well, Daniel. You see what I think of that.
Speaking of film,
Yeah, and whenever you get around to the Saw franchise, I'm pretty sure you're going to be firsthand why I prefer Leigh Whannell as a director. Because as an actor, well, yeah, not the best.
He's not good, is he? That good?
He's not good.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, so
Well, I might watch a Saw film this coming Halloween, guys. See what I think of it.
First one's the best. Second one's also good. Third one's also pretty good. Spiral's also good, and the rest.
Yeah.
I mean, Don, didn't you say on your sequel videos that you wish Saw stayed as one movie, a standalone movie?
Well, kind of a way, even though I did like 3 of the sequels, I do kind of wish it did, because I feel like it's just better we know nothing about the villain and stuff, and just what the first one did.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's best to keep villains as they are and not reveal too much about them, because it takes away a mystery of who they are, really. The best example I can say is how Rob Zombie's Halloween remake just told us too much about Michael, too much about him, and it took away his mystery.
You know, speaking of Halloween, I have a question for you, Luke.
Yes, Daniel.
So, in your Halloween ranking, which, by the way, I will say is one of your best videos ever created.
Really, Daniel? I really appreciate that. Thank you.
So, in your Halloween ranking, when you were talking about Halloween 4, I was actually surprised that you didn't mention Rachel. What do you think about her?
I don't really remember, Daniel, because I've forgotten quite a lot about Halloween 4. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah, because I find the 4 trilogy to be forgettable. So yeah, if I will say, Daniel, that if I rewatch a movie for a review, I'll be sure to talk about her, because I like to talk about characters in detail in my reviews, as you may have noticed in my reviews. So yeah.
And I'll say this about Rachel. When there was only the first Halloween movie, if we take away Halloween 2 and H2O out of the picture for just a moment, by the end of Halloween 4, Rachel for me was a much better final girl than Jamie Lee Curtis in the original Halloween, but all of that got diminished by what happened to her in Halloween 5, which is why I still prefer Laurie Strode.
Yeah, Halloween 5 was trash, in my opinion, yeah. Yes, Bador, I heard that the voice of Savitar in the Flash CW show is someone who played Jigsaw. Isn't he called Tobin Bell, the guy who plays Jigsaw, guys?
Oh, yeah, Tobin Bell.
Yeah, he's a voice of Savitar in the Flash season 3, yeah.
He also briefly in one of DreamWorks' underrated animated features, Road to El Dorado.
Oh, yeah, he was in that, yeah. That's definitely an underrated movie, Road to El Dorado. I really miss the days when DreamWorks was 2D, guys.
Yeah, same here. The 2D animation of their movies was very smooth.
Yeah, it was, and my favourite of that year was, of course, Prince of Egypt.
Same here.
Yeah. Obviously, though, guys, my favourite DreamWorks movie of all time was Kung Fu Panda 2. Always has been and always will be.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's my second favorite.
I'll always...
For me...
So yeah, I'll always talk about how much I love it, and yeah, if you guys want to see me showing pure love for for Kung Fu Panda, then I of course ranked the trilogy last year. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm planning to get the full trilogy on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I have it on Blu-ray somewhere. It's one of my boxes. Yeah.
We can only agree the fourth movie doesn't exist.
Well, I'm not going to watch fourth movie.
There is no fourth movie to me.
Yeah, I'm not watching the fourth one because I happily retired from DreamWorks. I'm not watching anything else by DreamWorks. I don't want to see any more.
Same here. Because when the trailer played, I just went on my phone immediately when I was in the theater for Shazam. I did not watch the trailer.
Good idea, Ozzy, for your own sake. Thank you, Adore. I'm glad you liked my Spirit video that I did. Because yeah, I love Spirit, Starlight of Simara, and yeah, that's one of my favourite DreamWorks movies. I love Spirit. The first one, but I hate the sequel or spin-off sequel.
I didn't see it because I don't care.
Yeah, don't do it for your own sake, Don. It's trash in my opinion. Because Don,
I just didn't care about
yeah,
sequel.
Yeah, don't see it for your own sake, guys. Like, I mean, Don, you know how the first one is in 2D, like a classic 2D era, right? For some reason, Don, in this sequel, they do it in 3D, not 2D. And I don't know why they did that at all. Because it's supposed to be a 2D franchise, for crying out loud. And the designs were pure cringe to look at in the sequel. Who left us?
Oh yeah,
Daniel.
I've only seen the designs because of the images that they have behind the voice actors. And yeah, is it just me or does the animation look really bad?
It looks ugly.
Oh, it is.
Horrible.
It is. Like, I remember when an advert popped up for that on YouTube. I was just trying to watch a video, and then an advert popped up, and I literally shut off YouTube immediately.
I can't blame you, Ozzy. Yeah, don't see the film for your own sake, guys. It is trash, in my opinion. One of the reasons why I stopped watching DreamWorks.
Well, I'm never going to.
Yeah, you're doing the right thing, Ozzy. So yeah, and just like, of course, how I also would say, guys, you know what? If you guys don't want to watch Ice Age get milked any further, then please, for your own sake, don't watch The Butt While spin-off.
Don't, whatever you do.
Don't worry. The fifth one was enough for me.
Yeah.
The fifth one was enough for me too.
Because in case you guys wondering, if you guys didn't see the movie, then myself and Ozzy here, we both watched it, so you didn't have to, didn't we, Ozzy?
Yeah, we both did, and we both hated it.
I mean, Ozzy, you didn't even want to watch it in the first place, did you? But you got forced to because you had to babysit someone, didn't you, Ozzy?
Yeah, it's been almost exactly a year ago when I had to watch that.
Yeah, horrible, isn't it? Yeah, it came out in February, didn't it? Yeah, or something like that, or early February.
Well, I saw it in April last year when I was on my spring break.
Damn, that sucks. And so yeah, and there's only one word we can say, guys. Like, if you guys were to ask me and Ozzy, should we watch the Ice Age Butt While spin-off? There's only one word me and Ozzy would say, which is don't.
No, don't do it.
Yeah, don't see it here because it's horrible. Butt While spin-off.
The only thing
awful animation, misleading title.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say the only thing that probably has kind of aged better is the fact that the film doesn't have John, whatever his name is.
Yeah, John Leguizamo. Yeah, I suppose that's one thing. Yeah, all the voice for Sid in the spin-off was suck, boy, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it still ruined Sid to begin with in that movie.
Yeah. And also, guys, I think Sid might be the more tolerable role I have for John Leguizamo now, but I lost respect for him because it's just his voice, isn't it, at the end of the day, isn't it? It's just his voice.
Yeah, I guess it's separating somebody when they're voicing them, then on camera, but they can't exactly see them, but
Yeah.
hear them.
The weirdest thing is, I used to actually find his character in Violent Night a pretty funny and enjoyable villain until I found out that you guys lost respect for him.
Yeah, because he lost. Yeah, because he of course harassed Chris Pratt. That's why I hate him.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, and also, guys, if I didn't hate John Leguizamo, my favorite live action role of his was actually Aurelio in John Wick.
Yeah, it would have been for me if John didn't go bad.
Yeah. Especially because in the first one, you don't really pay much anyway, does he? Just a supporting role.
No, not really.
So yeah, exactly. He doesn't really pay much. So yeah. Oh, there's a question for you, Don, from my daughter asking, who was your favorite character in the Sonic X show? Is it?
Yeah, just Sonic himself.
Yeah. And I will also say, guys, that when it comes to a John Wick franchise, my second favorite character in the franchise after John himself is definitely Sharon, in my opinion.
Oh, same here.
Yeah.
Same as well.
Always would be my favorite role of Lance Reddick. Rest in peace, Lance. Don, just out of curiosity, have you got a second favorite character in John Wick behind John himself?
I do also like the Bowery King.
Oh yeah, Lawrence Fishburne's character. Yeah, that's my second favorite role of Lawrence Fishburne, actually, after Morpheus.
Same here.
And also the Bowery King is my third favorite character.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
And it's him and Reeves' proper reunion.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna be honest. Whenever I hear John and the Bowery King talk, all I keep imagining is Neo and Morpheus.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah. It's the actually proper reunion, not piss erections.
Yeah, screw that movie.
Oh yeah, I made fun of that movie in the comments of Luke's video.
Yeah, it was. Well, I had a good laugh seeing that. Daniel, when it comes to John Wick, have you got a second favorite character in that franchise after John himself?
Well, certainly not Ruby Rose or John Leguizamo.
Of course not.
Like you guys said, unlike Seth Rogen, I despise John Leguizamo.
Yeah. So who would you say is your second favorite, Daniel?
You guys have already said John Wick and Lance Reddick, as well as Lawrence Fishburne. Obviously, Eating Machine is also really good.
I love Eating Machine.
I think for me, it would probably have to go to Halle Berry.
Oh yeah, Sophia. Yeah, she was great.
She was good.
Yeah, that's my second favorite role of hers after Storm from X-Men.
Oh yes, same here.
Don and Ozzy, there's a question for you, my daughter, asking, do you remember that creepy Baxter Stockman episode from the TMNT 2003 show? What did you think of it?
I never saw anything that had Stockman in it.
Yeah, Baxter Stockman it's called. Yeah, I don't know what that is, so yeah.
Well, I haven't seen that show in years.
I never really saw any episodes with that character.
Over the summer, I'm gonna binge watch that show because I want to relive my childhood.
You know, speaking of binge watches, guys, after I've watched that new Netflix show called Kaleidoscope, which is like a heist drama, I'm going to be binge watching Batman animated series, my Blu-ray of it.
Nice.
Yeah, I need to continue that.
Yeah, can't wait to go on the journey of watching it. Yeah.
I can't remember if it was in season 1 or season 2 when Kevin Conroy first said his iconic "I am vengeance, I'm the night, I'm Batman."
I think it's an episode called Something to Fear, I think. Something like that. I don't remember, yeah.
Episode.
Yeah,
it was Scarecrow's first appearance.
Yeah, voiced by, I think, Henry Rollins Jr., I think he's called, yeah.
Let me see.
I guess when I get to the episode, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
But I've got a feeling it might be, I think it might be my favourite episode, though, guys, because of that iconic catchphrase.
I'm actually going to look up that episode that Dalek was talking about. See, let me see if I can find it.
Pollock the second.
Oh yeah, guys, I'm on Injustice, guys. I'm playing as Bane, of course, and now I'm fighting Grundy, so it's basically Fred versus Fred. And Fred does a good job voicing both Bane and Grundy separately because when he plays Bane, guys, he's got a Spanish accent, of course. Whereas with Grundy, it sounds a bit similar to Hulk, but slightly different because Grundy's, of course, a zombie.
I think I may know. I think I found the episode that Dalek was talking about.
Oh, that's good. Oh,
Yeah.
Blaze, but I've got a question for you in the chat if you want to go and answer that, Blaze.
He's on mute.
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I'm just saying it now. If he wants to go and respond, he can check him out in the comments, of course, because he usually talks about all in the comments sometimes. Yeah. Oh yeah, guys, on Tuesday I'll be posting my review of Jurassic World Dominion as well.
Nice.
Looking forward to that.
And also, guys, in my opinion, the extended version is the true version of the film, in my opinion. So what, Dom?
Why couldn't that have just been the sequel to Jurassic World instead of that Fallen Kingdom stuff?
Yeah, Fallen Kingdom was, mostly boring, really. Boring filler in a mansion, not in the world.
Mansion.
Yeah, I can see why Lucky started calling it Jurassic.
I even said like in the review too for Fallen Kingdom. I hope you guys enjoy my Fallen Kingdom too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I also gave Jurassic Park 3 a name.
So yeah, what are you gonna call it, Ozzy?
Jurassic 4-3.
Good idea. That's a brilliant name for it. So yeah, in my opinion, guys, the extended version is the true version of Jurassic World Dominion, and it's what you should have got in theaters instead of the theatrical version.
I didn't even know there was an extended version.
There is, looking nerd. If you get it on Blu-ray or whatever, like I did, it comes with the extended version in it.
Yeah, when I get that movie on Blu-ray, I'm gonna rewatch it, but the extended version.
Yeah, you won't regret it, Ozzy. It's great. Don, did you see the extended version?
No, I haven't yet.
Well, I'd recommend it. In my opinion, it's better than the theatrical version because it answers lots of questions that were left unanswered in the theatrical version, and it helps develop the characters too as well.
Yeah, at least like Dominion redeemed Samuel's career after he starred in that bad Peter Rabbit movie.
Oh yeah, Peter Rabbit sucked. I didn't like that movie. I've not seen the sequel yet, but it's on Netflix for. I heard that was slightly more tolerable though.
Look, just have him base his character die of a heart attack because of his unhealthy habits. Great way to waste him there. Great idea.
You gave me Alien 3 cliche in that movie, yeah, sadly. Which, in my opinion, is the worst cliche of all time in a movie because it's such a heartbreaker.
Oh yeah, I agree with that one. I think that one's worse than the liar reveal cliche.
Yeah.
Like I think I would even say that's the worst cliche of all time.
Yeah, I'd say so too. Yeah, it's horrible.
Although I'm sure there were probably films that came out before Alien 3 that made that cliche before.
Yeah, like Casino Royale 1967, for example, did that, as I ranted about on my trash talk of it. Daniel, I hope you also enjoyed my trash talk of Casino Royale's parody movie.
I really did.
Yeah, and how did you react when I briefly mentioned that Midnight in Paris was a masterpiece in the video?
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, because that movie was a masterpiece in comparison to Casino Royale 1967.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it was a great movie, Midnight in Paris. I'd recommend if you guys have not seen it.
Oh, I will for sure watch it.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to check it out.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of James Earl Jones, guys, as we were talking about with Fred earlier, Shadow, you were pleased to know that tomorrow I'm going to watch Lion King 2 for the first time.
Oh, nice! I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. So yeah.
And I think you might consider it as your favorite threat video sequel.
It might be actually, yeah. I mean, Shadow.
Probably the only remotely really good directed-DVD sequel.
I mean, Shadow. What do you give it out of 10, Shadow?
I gave it an 8.
8. That's cool. And Shadow, I can already assume, based on the fact that The Lion King is your favorite animated movie of all time, that you'd probably give it like 11 out of 10, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
or maybe even higher than that. Maybe like 1 million out of 10.
Well, yeah, I could give that an Empire.
Yeah.
Score.
That's exactly what I do for these two.
Wait, what's that? You got E.T. and
E and Spider-Wars.
your favorite animated movie and live action movie.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, but the director of John Wick, Chad Stahelski, is going to be making a Ghost of Tsushima live action movie, which I'm definitely very excited for.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I played that game; it's phenomenal, that video game, and I think if he wasn't that old, guys, I think Hiroyuki Sanada would have been a perfect choice to play Jin Sakai. But unfortunately, Hiroyuki Sanada's getting on a bit, so yeah, I don't think he'd work as like a young Jin Sakai, maybe like an older version of him, maybe. But Hiroyuki was one of my favorite parts of John Wick 4, though.
Oh, he was awesome.
Yeah, he was. I think that's probably my favorite role of Hiroyuki Sanada, actually, guys. Yeah. And also, guys, Kane in the film was also my favorite part of John Wick 4 as well. Kane.
Oh man, he was absolutely awesome as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely my second favorite role of Donnie Yen behind Ip Man from those 4 movies he was in. Yeah. If you guys haven't seen Ip Man, I'd recommend those. They're amazing. Ip Man. And oh yeah, Blaze. But Dot was asking you, are you aware of the meme of M Bison saying yes, Blaze?
Yeah, I know that meme.
Nice.
Yes.
Where's that?
Is that from Street Fighters?
It is, yeah, because of M Bison.
Yeah, I see that meme.
Blaze.
I think it's funny.
Blaze, is that a quote from the games or the movies, Blaze?
It's from like an animated movie.
All right, nice.
It's also featured a lot of YTPs as well.
Oh wow. I might actually watch, the first live action movie, guys, mainly because I want to pay my respects to Raul Julia, the actor who played M Bison in that movie.
He only did that movie because I think his kids told him, I think.
It is true, because the thing is, guys, is that Raw was unfortunately suffering from terminal cancer, but he made that movie because his kids were fans of Street Fighter, so he made it for them so they could watch him, when he's no longer here. And because of that, guys, hear my respect for that.
I think that's like something similar to Hans Zimmer doing the music for Lion King. Because originally I saw in an interview that he didn't want to do the music, but his daughter wanted him to work on that movie, so he did.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Now Hans Zimmer is my respect.
Yeah.
It still baffles me that literally one of my classmates asked me who Hans Zimmer was.
He's one of the greatest composers of all time. That's my answer to that.
Yeah, I was literally just listening to his music. He was like, "Hey, what are you listening to?" I'm just like, "Oh, Hans Zimmer." He was like, "Who's Hans Zimmer?" I'm just like, "What?"
Which music we listened to by Mozzie?
I was listening to his Lion King music.
Nice.
In my opinion, his greatest score ever.
Well, I can see why. Shut up. What's up, Lex?
I'm posting something funny memes, and I think this is pretty satisfying.
Yeah, it probably will be, knowing.
But like this
yeah. Yeah, so guys, I will probably watch that live action film for Raul Julia to pay my respects to him. But so far,
are we talking about Street Fighter from Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yeah, we're talking about that, Daniel. Yeah, which Raul Julia was in as M Bison.
I thought he was passing away from stomach cancer, wasn't he?
He was, yeah, Daniel. But he did that film though because his kids were fans of Street Fighter, so he did it for them basically. That's why I hear my respect.
So speaking of Street Fighter, my buddy Sean, he actually saw it on the theater back in 1992.
Oh wow!
And at least for him, not for me, because I really do not like that movie. He says it falls into that category of guilty pleasure, where if you grew up with it, you'll have a lot of fun with it. I only watched it for the first time last year, and apart from Raj obviously giving a performance to pay respect to his kids, I didn't like it because it was first time watch and I didn't have nostalgia for it.
Yeah, I can understand Daniel, because I heard he had negative reviews, but apparently Raw Julia's performance got like universal praise from people. Apparently. Yeah,
because he was really good. But the thing, as a Street Fighter fan, is that there's barely any street fighting in it.
Well, that sucks.
But yeah, Zangief was also kind of weird in the movie.
Was he now? Yeah, wasn't he?
He didn't even fight. There was no fight in the movie.
Wait, Blaze, wasn't he in Wreck-It Ralph, Zangief?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's where we got name from. Yeah. So Daniel, when it comes to video game adaptations, have you by any chance seen Mortal Kombat 995?
I mean, aside from the fact that I really can't stand most of Paul W.S. Anderson's work, yeah, it's fun.
Well, in my opinion,
I've got nostalgia for it.
Well, in my opinion, it's the best movie I've seen by him, actually.
Yeah, I also say the same thing.
It's the same thing for me, which for me isn't saying much since he's done a lot of this really crap. But Mortal Kombat, as you guys have already said, is really good.
Hey, stop.
Yeah.
Get out of your mouth.
Oh, you okay, Don?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. But Daniel, just out of curiosity, have you by any chance seen a sequel to that movie?
Well, I've already answered this before. Yes, and I have, and I despised it.
Yeah, I think it's one of the worst movies of all time, ever.
Yeah, I'm never watching it.
Oh wow, that was him back all that. Wow.
Plainly, maybe this is saying something, but to put it plainly, I would actually rewatch Fan Four Stick over Annihilation.
Well, Daniel, when I think about it and I put it into perspective, you know, at least Fan Four Stick was a standalone movie, reboot, and not a sequel to a beloved movie before, was it? Thankfully, wasn't it?
Right, which is why I can look at it and think, you know, this is an abomination.
It is,
but
yeah.
At least it's a standalone, and I can watch it a lot more easier to Annihilation, which has horrendous effects.
Oh, the effects in Annihilation are horrendous. Really are horrible. Like
with Fan Four Stick, I believe they did also have. They were planning to make a sequel to that before the film had bombed.
Oh god, well, I wouldn't have watched it. Hell no.
I was about to say another reason why I think Welcome Bone is worse than Fan Four Stick.
Because it's a bad sequel, Ozzy.
Yep, that's another reason, and an unneeded one.
Yeah, of course. Because as I stressed the importance of, guys, the MCU to me ended with Endgame. That's as far as I'm concerned. And No Way Home and Far From Home to me are just Sony films, and that's it. Not MCU films.
Yeah. So I'm looking up Fan Four Stick on Wikipedia. Apparently, the sequel was supposed to come out legitimately 2 years after Fan Four Stick. You know how lucky you have to be to have a big budget film and then have a 2-year turnaround and be just as good?
Yeah.
With the exception of Spider-Man 2, more times than not, they kind of fumble.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, films can be rushed, can't they? Unfortunately.
Also, I kind of feel bad because watching you guys already know this, one of my all-time favorite YouTubers is Joe Blow, and he made a video documenting what WTF happened to Fan Four Stick. He was talking about how apparently there were rumors that Matthew Vaughn was brought in to do the reshoots because they already kicked out Josh Trank at that point.
Oh,
I
wow.
feel bad for the guy.
Yeah. I mean, Josh Trank said apparently on Twitter, Daniel, that there was actually a version of that film we're never going to see, apparently.
Yeah, and I believe that to be 100% accurate since, well, that footage like Batgirl got shelved and now it's gone forever.
Yeah, it is. I mean...
Oh, yeah, Josh Trank. I found out a lot of things that happened behind the scenes of Fan Four Stick that weren't exactly pretty.
Oh, dear.
Like, for example, fights.
Oh, no. I mean...
Yeah, we actually looked that up on the Wikipedia trivia. I do remember him and Milt, whatever is sorry. I remember there being a lot of fist fights and stuff.
Oh no.
Scenes.
I mean, one thing that's so bad about that film is you can also easily tell when a reshoot happened easily.
Yeah, because of the wig and also Miles Teller's facial hair.
Yeah, his hair constantly changes from clean shaven to a beard. I don't know why they didn't think this through at all.
Yeah, because remember, I seen the movie several weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think the reason why is because, I mean, at that point, I'm pretty sure Miles Teller already wrapped up the masterpiece that is 2014's Whiplash, which J.K. Simmons respectfully 100% deserved his Oscar for.
Oh, he did, yeah.
At that point, I think he also signed on to the first Divergent. And
while
he was doing Divergent, he looked a lot different. And so when he was brought in to do reshoots for Fan Four Stick, he basically looked like what he was in Divergent, which I think was probably the main ultimate red flag.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Divergent, guys, I only lasted a few minutes on the movie and I fell asleep.
I don't blame you.
Because I thought it was boring.
And you're not missing much because the finale, I think. Oh man, that was terrible.
Yeah, Shadow. I didn't hear good things about sequels, Shadow. Yeah, because I fell asleep when I was watching it. I only lasted a few minutes, and Don and Daniel. I'm not sure if I told you guys this, but there is something that I revealed to everyone here about when it comes to Sony animated films, right?
Yeah.
You know when it comes to the bad films, right? I'll tell you this, right? In my history of watching Sony's films, right? I've watched, of course, I've seen bad films, of course. The worst one to me, of course, is Surf's Up 2, and another one for me is also the open season films. And also, guys, for me, I only lasted 38 seconds of the Emoji Movie as well.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, Daniel, I tried to watch it when I was young, when it came out onto Netflix, and I only lasted 38 seconds of it, and I turned it off.
Wait, so 2017, I must have either already finished my freshman year of high school, going into my sophomore year. So the movie came out in summer of 2017, and all I remember was the buzz like, wait a minute, an Emoji Movie? Who wants to see that? And then it rightfully so bombed because nobody watched it. Not even my buddy Sean, who at that point almost had 3 kids. At the point he only had 2 kids. He was about to have 3, but he would have been the perfect demographic to take his kids to see the Emoji Movie, but he rightfully didn't, because even he knew that movie was probably going to be trash.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, Dan, you want to know another thing about that movie? I actually saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
You must have been in middle school at the time, weren't you, Ozzy?
Yep, I was in middle school.
Yeah, and Daniel, the way it worked was that Ozzy watched it as like a try not to cringe challenge. You know, the whole movie as a try not to cringe, and he failed in the first second of it, didn't you, Ozzy?
Yep, I immediately failed.
Because at that point, guys, right, it's of course shows the Columbia Pictures logo getting ruined with like a weird selfie thing or something. I can't remember much, but yeah, that's where I turned it off because it was stupid. And you know what, guys? Based on what you guys been saying about it, it looks like I'm not missing anything at all.
You're not
missing anything.
Yeah.
I was literally, it was only me along with my 2 friends that were there with me at the time.
Yeah. Ozzy, just out of curiosity, has it ever been like anything that you've tried to watch but only lasted a few seconds watching it?
There's been multiple times that I've shut things off pretty early in a movie.
Such as, for example, is there any particular examples you can say, Ozzy, that you can remember well that you shut off really early in?
One example would be Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance.
Oh yeah, I can't blame that. That movie is horrible.
Oh god, that was hard to sit through.
Yeah, one of the worst superhero movies of all time. Oh yeah, guys, and Bad Dollar says that he tried to watch the last Airbender movie, you know, by M. Night, and he immediately turned it off.
I don't blame him at all.
I don't blame him at all either.
Would you guys say it was M. Night's worst movie of all time?
Yeah,
it's either that or Lady in the Water. It just depends on the mood for me.
Yeah, well, guys, I'm never going to watch that movie. I don't see any reason why I should. I said probably watch the original animated series. I will watch the movie. Don't worry, guys.
When it comes down to films, well, in 2016, I know Liongate had it hard. Like they had this film called Norm of the North, which was
yeah. Lucky Nerd. I heard that film was panned. Lucky Nerd. Heard it was panned.
I remember one of my friends was forced to watch that movie.
And did your friend hate it, Ozzy?
He did.
Well, based on what I've heard about it, I can't really say blame your friend. Oh, guys, check this out. Darth Prime said he only lasted 20 seconds. He or she lasted only 20 seconds of Terminator Dark Fate and turned it off. You know, I can't blame you, Darth Prime. Can't blame you.
I would have done the exact same thing for Genesis if I was.
Oh God,
yeah. Watched it now if I watched all of the Terminators now for the first time, because I watched them a lot when I was younger. If I watched Terminator Genesis now, I would have shut it off after like a minute or 2.
Oh yeah, I can't blame you. That movie is trash. And Dark Fate, I can't blame you switching off Dark Prime because, and also you're missing nothing by not watching the rest of that movie. I know why you turned it off. It's because of John Connor's death, isn't it? Wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Because yeah.
Sad thing is that I actually saw Genesis in theaters.
And did you not like it, Ozzy?
Oh no, that was crap.
Yeah, it was indeed. Yeah, but Ozzy, just so you know, you're going to be in for an absolute treat if you watch Terminator 2, or.
Yep, because that is on my watch list. Because I'm gonna rewatch the first movie just so I can refresh my memory.
Good idea.
And then Terminator 2.
That's a very good idea, yeah, because Terminator 2, as you guys may or may not know, is my favorite action movie of all time as well.
Yeah, the greatest action movie ever made.
Yeah, it's a shame it's made by a director I hate, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes despite the fact that I 100% agree with you guys that I have lost respect for the director, I always kind of struggle between True Lies and Terminator 2 as for which one am I entertained by more or which one I'm more likely to rewatch.
Well, that's up to you, Daniel, really, what I can say. Really. I think True Lies is, in my opinion, an underrated film by James Cameron. You know, not a lot of people seem to talk about it, but I think it deserves more love.
I mean, it kind of falls into the Demolition Man category, where it was a big hit when it came out, but I think because it never got onto Blu-ray or anything like that, it just kind of got forgotten about.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, Daniel, it's James Cameron's last good movie.
Yeah, we never talk about anything else, which is a good thing. And
of
also,
course.
Speaking of Demolition Man, I guess one thing that I appreciated now that I didn't really used to when I was little is how accurately it predicted the future.
Yeah, I think, you know, old films which predict the future got a lot of attention, but that being one of them. Yeah. Don, just out of curiosity, have you seen True Lies?
No, but I just bought it today.
Oh, nice. You in for a treat. In my opinion, it's definitely James Cameron's last good movie. So yeah, if you guys have not seen True Lies, I'd recommend it if you like Arnie and Jamie Lee Curtis and yeah, of course, James Cameron's older films.
Hey, Don, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you seen Demolition Man?
No.
Okay. I can understand if
I'd recommend it. It's a very good movie. Underrated too, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can understand how somehow you missed it when you were younger. I think you were going to really enjoy both Sylvester Stallone as well as Dennis Leary in that movie.
Yeah, and as well as that, Don, but the villain's played by Blade himself, Wesley Snipes.
Nice.
Yeah, and so, and Daniel, just out of curiosity, would you say that in your opinion, no one can top Wesley Snipes as Blade?
Absolutely.
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah. Would you, Daniel?
Yeah, I agree with Don.
Yeah. Like, I think Wesley Snipes is definitely, you know, an actor who deserves more attention, and you know, as an actor, I think he's phenomenal, and in my opinion, the only Blade I'll ever accept ever. He is Blade.
That's pretty much what I told you yesterday.
I kind of feel bad for Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, me too. He went through quite a bad time in the 2000s, didn't he?
Yeah, and he went to prison for a little bit as well.
Tax evasion, that's what he went to prison for, yeah. Poor guy. Yeah. So... Oh, yeah, Ozzy, just...
I can also...
yeah, go ahead, Daniel.
I guess I can also say the same thing for Mel Gibson back in, I think, 2008 or 2010.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know you talk about Daniel, yeah, with Mel Gibson.
All right, I'll be sure to say what it is on the after show, but for those of you who are, for those of you who are watching it live, all I'll say is that Mel Gibson made a mistake in either 2008 or 2010, and since apologized for it.
Yeah, and I forgave him.
Yeah, I'm forgiven for whatever he did.
Yeah.
Another example of that did was Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. So Ozzy, do you plan to watch Blade 2 eventually? As well?
Yeah, I'm planning to see if I can find the Blu-rays of Blade.
Well, I'd recommend that, but I'd recommend not to see Trinity, because Trinity, in my opinion, is terrible.
Yeah, please don't waste your time on that trash.
I mean, Ozzy, what did you think of my rant about it?
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And I got annoyed when you mentioned the Alien 3 cliche.
Yeah, it does it to a beloved character, sadly, which I hated about the movie. Yeah. So, oh, guys, I just got a comment from Jay.
What?
He's just commented on my review with John Wick 4, saying he's finished it. It was freaking awesome, a major improvement from the last two with pure epic fight sequences, and it left me feeling immensely satisfied, just like the first film did. Gives it a 9 out of 10. Same score as me, yeah. I just pinned his comment. Yeah, glad you had fun, bro. I loved the movie too. There we go. Just replied to him. Yeah.
I gotta go right now and leave a like on.
I've pinned it, Shadow, so it should be easy to find. I'm so glad he liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, John Wick is a franchise I just really love. It's one of those franchises where none of the films suck to me.
Even if 2 out of 4 of them has an actor that we all despise.
Yeah, but to be honest, though, Daniel, because he doesn't really appear much, it doesn't affect my entertainment of 1 and 2, though.
Yeah, pretty much the same for me.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was about to say, if I get them in a Blu-ray collection like this, I think you might know where I'm going to stop.
Are you going to stop at Blade 2, Ozzy?
Yep, just like I did with this movie.
Yeah, please, for your own sake, Ozzy, keep it that way. Don't see a Bad Day to Die Hard, as I call it. It's one of the worst films I've ever seen.
I'm just going to do this right now.
Thank you, Ozzy.
Yeah, because I saw your rant on Good Day to Die Hard, and it makes me so glad that I did not watch it.
Yeah, Don, in case you're wondering, Ozzy watched the Die Hard films at Christmas last year, didn't you, Ozzy?
Yep, all 4 of them.
Yeah, and he did not see the 5th one, and he never will see it.
Yep, based on your rant, I'm never watching it.
Yeah, you're doing the right thing for your own sake. Don't see it.
Good. How dare they massacre John McClane?
Yeah, they ruined him in the 5th movie. Really did. But thankfully, Bruce Willis actually hates that film, guys. He hates the 5th movie.
I don't blame Bruce for that. I know. Speaking of Bruce, I rewatched Over the Hedge this week.
Oh, nice. My favorite also Bruce Willis.
Oh my god, it literally turned into a try not to laugh challenge that I failed.
Yeah, I can't blame him. That movie does have its funny moments, and yeah, I hope Bruce is doing well, especially because last week he turned 68. So yeah, did you guys see his video where he celebrated his birthday with his family?
Yeah, I saw it. It was
I did, yeah.
That was very heartwarming seeing him celebrate with his family, and of course, guys, as well, soon he's going to be a granddad.
Well,
so congrats to him. He's going to be a granddad.
Yeah, all I'm gonna say to him is congratulations.
Yeah, I'm very happy for him and his family. And if you guys want to see updates on Bruce and whatever, I'd reckon you guys to follow his wife on Instagram called Emma Hemming Willis, because she has all updates on Bruce.
Right now. I'm gonna do it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Emma Hemming Willis. Yeah, Hemming, Hemming. Yeah.
Hemming Willis.
Yeah. She's very nice, guys, and she's very caring for her husband and her family. So yeah. And it's where you guys can find the updates on Bruce. How he's doing and all that. It's hard to find out he was retiring from acting actually, and how he of course has, unfortunately, of course, has dementia now. And and just so you know, guys, next Friday on March 31st, they're going to release Bruce Willis's final film called Assassin. It's like a direct-to-video movie of his, and even though I have no plans to watch his direct-to-video movies he's done in the past few years, I will watch this one to honor Bruce. I mean, it might suck, guys, of course. I have no doubt it might suck, like his other films have done, according to critics, but, I'll watch it to honor Bruce. I'll do it for him.
Yeah, I'll do it for him as well.
Yeah. And also, guys, the sequel to Murder Mystery is going to Netflix as well. Murder Mystery 2 with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. I'll be watching that as well. See what I think of that.
I haven't even seen the first movie yet.
It's like a guilty pleasure mystery comedy film, Shadow. I'd reckon if you like Adam Sandler.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll watch it for Adam.
Yeah. Obviously, though, guys.
Sandler movies.
I mean, Ozzy, have you seen Uncut Gems yet?
Not yet.
Well, I'd reckon it because it's my favorite performance of all time from Adam Sandler, actually.
please, all
Yeah,
please watch that movie.
Currently, right now, I think my favorite Adam Sandler movie is the movie 51st Dates.
Wait, wasn't that the one where Drew Barrymore had amnesia and kept waking up, losing her memory?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
I've not seen that movie, guys, so I can't comment on it.
I love that film.
That movie's really funny.
I'll see if I can watch it one day, guys.
Sean Astin's in it also.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, Daniel. Just so you know as well. After I've seen Lion King 2, I'll also be planning to watch Hollow Man this week. You know, the Paul Verhoeven movie.
So you're finally watching Hollow Man.
Well, I'm going to because I love Paul Verhoeven as a director. So yeah, I'll definitely watch Hollow Man.
I need to give you a warning.
Go on, man.
Because I know how much you really despise this when happens in movies. I know how much you absolutely hate animal cruelty.
I do. Yeah, you're right.
I'm just going to give you a warning, and Cody Leach in his review said it perfectly. There is going to be a unbearably heavy amount of animal cruelty with Paul Verhoeven violence.
Oh dear. Well, I'll be prepared for it.
So yeah, just keep that in mind that Paul Verhoeven is using his ultra-violent instincts on something that you absolutely hate.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I have a theory that once you see Hollow Man, you will look back on Megan and be like, you know what? Megan's animal cruelty was pretty tame compared to Hollow Man.
Well, I can imagine because Paul Verhoeven's movies are very graphic, aren't they, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very graphic.
Yeah, RoboCop is definitely a prime example of that, and also as well, my second favorite movie by him, Total Recall, as well.
Honestly, I just saw an image of Hollow Man, but I honestly think I'm going to skip it.
Why is that? Or is it because you're not interested?
Again, just like I said with the thing, I can only handle so much.
Well, that's understandable. I'm only watching it, guys, because of my love for Paul Verhoeven, and also, guys, because Josh Brolin's in it as well.
Yeah, and I better make it clear to people in the live chat. I got nothing against any of the cast and anything in the thing. I just can't handle too much.
Gore.
Fuel injections.
Yeah, we understand, Ozzy. We understand.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same.
I understand.
Yeah, because that's why I stopped watching Saw. Well, first off, I didn't like the first movie all that much, but when I was watching that movie for the first time, I nearly puked.
Oh wow. And
it's mostly because of the gore.
Yeah, but no matter what, though, guys, my favorite movie by Paul Verhoeven always will be RoboCop. That's never going to change.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah, I can't imagine Hollow Man beating RoboCop, at least in your opinion.
Well, RoboCop's one of my favorite films of all time, Daniel. So that's why.
Oh, speaking of Paul Verhoeven and Hollow Man, I actually have a comparison I would like to make. So, Hollow Man not only stars Josh Brolin, it also has Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, I heard he's in that too. Yeah.
And to kind of go along the lines of my comparison, Michael Biehn, one of the Terminator aliens, he was so good as the hero that people were actually surprised to see him as a villain in The Abyss.
Yes, he was good in The Abyss.
The same thing can be said for Kevin Bacon, where he first started out as Friday the 13th, and then he was in Tremors, and he was in Apollo 13 and A Few Good Men, where he was the good guy. Hollow Man, he is a disturbing, evil, menacing man.
Wow. And so this was, of course, before he played Sebastian Shaw in X-Men First Class, then. A villain in that movie,
yeah, I would say that his role in Hollow Man is much more menacing than his role in First Class.
Okay, well, I'll be sure to watch it for Kevin Bacon too, Daniel.
Oh, no, speaking of that, you guys know I watched Cocktail starring Tom Cruise for the first time, thanks to Joe Blow. Elizabeth Shue is in both Cocktail as well as Hollow Man.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And I think that's it for all of the mainstream Hollywood actors that are in Hollow Man. It's just Kevin Bacon, Elizabeth Shue, and Josh Brolin.
I see.
Apparently, that film also had a sequel, which didn't have a good rating. Hollow Man.
Really? A sequel to Hollow Man?
Yep, it's called Hollow Man 2. I've just found its IMDb page.
Oh, wow.
That came out in 2006.
Don't think I'll be watching that.
Like, why do Paul Verhoeven's films get all these, like, sequels and all that? Take care, Kyle.
I think it's the exact same reason that Winnie the Pooh, Bun, and Honey got made. It's free domain, which means that you can easily capitalize it by making a direct-to-video sequel.
Yeah, I will say, guys, that even though I, of course, refused to watch Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, that film automatically gets a 0 out of 10 from me.
Oh, I saw a clip of one scene of the movie, and that was enough to kill my interest.
My interest was killed when they announced it, Ozzy. I didn't see any clips of it.
I mean, I only saw most criticals review of the film, and oh my god, he hated it.
Wait, critical drinker, Shadow?
No, most critical.
Sorry, all right,
Like
all right. Wait,
I remember Cody Leach's thumbnail for his rant on that film.
Did he hate it too, Don?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, well, I definitely watched Cody's video.
His thumbnail's perfect.
Huh. Don, do you remember that guy who does like horror videos called Horror Metal? Is it Horror Metal?
Yeah.
Would you recommend my horror rankings to him if you were able to? Would you recommend my horror rankings to him?
I would definitely.
Thank you, Don. I appreciate that.
I'll see it. I Discord message him the link to your channel.
Yeah, tell him.
Check out
yeah, tell him that they're in like a playlist of franchise rankings, and he'll also be pleased. I give like a massive rant on TCM Next Generation as well.
Yeah.
Because as you guys may or may not know, that's the worst movie I've ever seen in my life so far.
Starring Academy Award winners Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger.
Yeah, in the early roles, indeed, Daniel. Yeah.
I'll be right back, guys. I am really hungry.
Yeah, go and get some food, Ozzy. Get us some food.
I've always been fascinated over the fact that some of these actors we've loved and admired, some of their startings came out from horror movies, like we also mentioned with Next Generation. It was McConaughey and Renee Zellweger. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 has Viggo Mortensen before he was ever in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's my least favorite role, Viggo Mortensen, so far that I've seen of him.
It is mine as well.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate if I say that. In my opinion, Daniel, as I said in my ranking video, but the best part of that film for me was Ken Foray.
Yeah, I agree with you. Aside from the fact that there was a character in the movie that kind of felt like Randy from the Scream movies, where you knew he was in a horror movie, it's just so forgettable.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, isn't it, really?
I legitimately have to go onto the Wikipedia page just to remember what the plot was.
Yeah, it's very forgettable, TCM3. Yeah, very forgettable. I mean, in my opinion, guys, apart from a remake, there was nothing's been good in TCM since the second film, in my opinion, apart from the remakes. It's very unfortunate, but the franchise needs to go die now. Yeah, I believe Johnny Depp was in the very first Elm Street film, weren't he, guys? Johnny Depp, one of his early roles, weren't he?
Yeah, that was his very first role, actually.
Yeah, his very first role, yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah, it was. I was very happy to see him when I saw that movie last year. Yeah. Yeah, RJ. Fred Tatasciore came on at the start of the stream. We spoke for an hour, and when the stream is over, you can go check it out when the stream is finished. Yeah, we had a really great time speaking to him. It was an absolute honor. And hopefully he might come on another day. Maybe he's very welcome to if he wants to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far, though, guys, none of you other voice actors we've spoken to have come on the streams again since we first spoke to them, though. Probably because they're busy, I guess.
That's so.
Which I totally understand because, they're very busy people, aren't they, with their careers and their own lives too, personal lives, aren't they?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we can't expect them to be available forever, can we? All the time. So yeah, they're very busy, which I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
But yeah.
I can think of someone who could come on here.
And who's that lucky nerd?
Good guest on here.
And who's that lucky nerd?
Have we heard of the actor called Mick Wingert?
Oh yeah, Mick Wingert. I know him. Yeah. That'd be cool to have him on. He of course voices Poe in several Coming Panda related things. When Jack Black's not available, and he's also of course voiced Iron Man too and several other characters too. But yeah, talking to Fred Tatasciore earlier was an absolute honour. Thank you, Adol. I appreciate it. But yeah, Fred so far is definitely my favourite interview, indeed. You're such a nice guy, and we're a big creator to talk about, and yeah. And that question I asked him about Megatron at the start was definitely a question I wanted to ask him for a very long time, guys. Actually.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, Fred Tatasciore, the legend.
Sure is.
Yeah.
And he also was so slappy in the second Goosebumps film.
Wait. Oh, does he looking at? I'm not seeing the Goosebumps movies. Yeah, I know Jack Black's in there, isn't he? The live action ones, yeah.
Yeah, he's in the live action ones. Though in the first film, he was voiced by Cal Dot, the Wolverine's actor from.
Oh wow, Cal Dodd. Yeah.
Yep, from that X-Men series from 1992.
Yeah. Although, of course, guys, my favourite voice of Wolverine is definitely Fred's best friend, Steve Bloom.
Yeah, though Cal is probably my second favourite.
Yeah, mine as well, lucky nerd. Because Cal Dodd's one I grew up when I was a kid, watching X-Men animated series. And of course, and Don and Daniel, if you guys didn't see the start of the stream, when Fred came on, we all did our Hulk impressions for him, saying Hulk smash.
That's cool.
Yeah. So like I did hurt my voice a little bit more, so yeah, I was like, Hulk smash. It definitely hurts your voice. But my favorite Blue Beetle is Anthony Del Rio from Injustice 2. He's my favorite Blue Beetle because I thought he was hilarious in that game. Hilarious.
So speaking of Blue Beetle, I have an announcement to make.
Yeah, Daniel.
All right. So as you guys know, like everyone else universally across the world, I basically refuse to watch Flash and Aquaman 2. But as you guys know, I'm turning 21 in a couple of months.
Yes.
Which means that I will legally be allowed to drink alcohol in the United States. At AMC, the theater that me and Ozzy go to, they have a beer selection as well as a wine selection, which means you can order alcohol when watching the movie. And we have a brand new Blue Beetle movie coming in September. So, not 100% guaranteed, and I might skip the movie, which is like a 75 to 90% possibility. If I were to see Blue Beetle starring one of the main guys from Cobra Kai, I will be sure to get super drunk.
Well, all I can say if you're watching that film drunk, Daniel, is good luck. Best of luck to you.
Yeah, and I would only watch it for the lead guy from Cobra Kai as Joel Emelianenye. Other than that, I might as well have skipped it.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel, would you recommend Cobra Kai to watch?
Oh, absolutely, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I'll see if I can watch it one day. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because right now, guys, I'm of course watching that show called Kaleidoscope. I'm mainly watching it because Giancarlo Esposito's in it.
And
speaking of Giancarlo Esposito, it's also easy to forget that he's been acting since he and Eddie Murphy were basically the same age.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because Giancarlo, I think, was born in 1958. I think it was or something. Yeah, I think. Whereas Eddie Murphy, of course, is like in a couple of years, I think, because I think he was born in 1961, I think. So he's 60. He'll be 62 this year, I think. Yeah, 62. Eddie Murphy, in my opinion, looks fantastic for his age, though. Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
even in You People, which came out like a month and a half ago, it's hard to believe the guy's 60 years old. He still looks like late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, he looks fantastic. I don't know what he does to keep himself being very healthy, but he looks brilliant.
Yeah, it might be his secret.
Yeah, I was doing well. All right, take care, Joseph. But all he's getting something to eat, so I'm not sure if you'll see a comment or not. Yeah, he's on mute right now as well, so yeah, there's that too. But yeah, talking to Fred was an absolute privilege, and yeah, Daniel, do you reckon you'll watch the interview when the stream's over with Fred?
Yeah, I might stay up once I get off work tonight, super duper late at midnight, to watch some of it. Speaking of Fred, unfortunately, I just found out that he was in a movie starring an actor that pretty much I know you guys have lost respect for.
Oh dear. Well, I wouldn't be surprised because if he's in loads of films because he's a very prominent voice actor.
So, as you guys probably know, everyone here can pretty much agree that Chris Evans is no longer an actor we like and we pretty much hate.
Yeah, I despise Chris Evans at the moment.
So, the live action, no, not live action, the animated theatrical 2007 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, which has Chris Evans as Casey Jones and Nolan North as one of the Turtles. Fred was in it as one of the side generals.
Oh wow, what a shame that Fred had to be in that movie with Chris Evans then.
Speaking of Chris Evans, would you say Luke? Wait, Luke.
Yeah, Daniel.
Speaking of Chris Evans, would you say that he's probably the one already bad quality for the upcoming Dwayne Johnson Christmas movie?
I'd probably say so, yeah, because I of course can't stand looking at Chris Evans these days.
Yeah, and I kind of
now, guys.
I haven't lost respect for.
Take care, Don. Thanks for being here. Yeah, take care, Don. Have a lovely day.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Don. Take care, Don.
Take care, Don.
Take care.
No, I haven't lost respect for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but based on my understanding of how it happened, I also don't appreciate the fact that he was apparently, of all the people to choose from, his number one choice to star in his upcoming Christmas movie was Chris Evans. That I don't really like.
Yeah, I mean,
why would Dwayne Johnson make that decision?
I don't know. I mean, Daniel, is he the casting director for this Christmas movie?
No, but he's executive producing it, and he's basically hired some random guy to direct the movie for him, even though it's his own product movie. And so he's able to hire people that he wants. He was the guy who wanted Chris Evans to be in this movie, and I will never understand that.
Yeah.
Maybe he casted him before Chris did what he did last year with Lightyear.
No, he casted him after Lightyear came
Really?
out. That's the thing.
Oh dear.
I guess that's something we'll never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because of Chris Evans, I couldn't finish the film Gifted.
Really lucky nerd. Oh wow.
Wait, are you talking about Gifted 2017?
Yes.
And you're saying you couldn't finish it?
Nope. Well, at the time when I started the film.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. I actually, the director of that movie is actually the same guy who did both of the Amazing Spider-Man movies. And
oh wow.
I'm pretty sure you guys can agree that one of the things that was really good was that all of the relationship, they felt human. And so in my opinion, while at the moment I don't like Chris Evans, I thought he had really good chemistry with the little girl in the movie who was also in Ghostbusters Afterlife. And I think it's all down to the fact that Mark Webb just knows how to get actors to communicate well. He did the same thing in Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, I suppose so, yes. So
speaking of Mark Webb, I wonder if Ozzy will say when he gets back that he's going to watch the live-action Snow White remake from Disney that is directed by Mark Webb.
Well, that's up to Ozzy, isn't it, really? We'll see what he says. Take care, Aldor. Thanks for being here.
Well, when it comes to that Snow White remake, honestly, the only thing I'm seeing from that movie will be Gal Gadot's scenes, and that's it.
I mean, basically,
I just want to see her take on the Evil Queen.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we technically already saw a little bit of it in Shazam: Fury of the Gods, being that both the Evil Queen as well as Snow White appear in that movie.
Yeah, you're not wrong, are you, Daniel?
No, I am not wrong at that moment.
Yeah. So, Daniel, when it comes to this year's movies so far, what would you say is your favorite movie of this year so far that you've seen?
It's going to be John Wick Chapter 4.
Yes, incredible.
I do have a theory which one will probably end up being my favorite.
Yeah, would you predict it'll be your favorite, Daniel?
I think it's going to be a two-way tie between Guardians Volume 3 and John Wick 4.
Well, we'll see how it goes then, won't we? I, of course, not watching Guardians 3, but yeah, you'll let us know what you think of it, yeah?
Yeah, I'll be sure to let you know what you think of it.
And I refuse to watch Guardians 3.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
Speaking of Guardians 3, Luke, is it true that you went to the bathroom to avoid that movie?
Yes, when it played in my trailers when I saw Shazam last week, when it came on, I went to a bathroom.
Funny enough, it actually never occurred to me in my entire life to go to the bathroom to avoid a trailer. That has never ever occurred in my mind.
Really?
Until when you brought it up last week. Yeah, I never thought about it because I always have my phone with me, and I usually don't really get annoyed by trailers, and so I just watch it. And if somebody plays on that just doesn't interest me, I just go onto my phone. I never once for a second thought to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, well, now you know, don't you?
I do know now.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, so that is 3 hours. So that was really fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't believe how fast this stream went.
Yeah, definitely, in my opinion, the best one in a while for me, because I got to interview one of my favorite voice actors and idols in the voice acting industry of all time, Fred Tatasciore. So if you guys want to see the interview, then please feel free to go back to the start of the video, because it literally begins when the stream starts, which was definitely an amazing surprise. And yeah, so guys, this is me doing episode 115 of Let's Chat Live. So drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to let us know in the comments what you guys think of for tonight's stream. If you saw it, comments what you think. Also, please go subscribe to be special guests as well. Give them some love and support. We deserve the support. Also, be sure to join Team Prime by pressing subscribe in the future. If you'd like to be a member, you can join using a piece of art or you can leave a subscription. And we'll see you all later. All right, take care, guys. See ya.
Take care.
See ya.
Take care now.